Let's go, grinders. Hit that like button, share it out. He did it.
On the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business so humongous, you would think that happens in there. Damn man, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Looking for that whip, yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have them yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like, whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts, bro. Lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Want me on your song, throw a couple stacks, yo. Everybody wanna do the same thing. That's why we ain't on the same page. Do my own thing and I maintain. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah.
Gentlemen, we need to celebrate this final occasion. Let's go. Some new music. Gamepass.
From Call of Duty, Hellblade to Unfurled. Every passion project waiting just for you. Explore new ventures, so much you can do. Gamepass, a world in your hands. Gamepass, new realms, new lands. Every crate right there for you to find. From epic quests to small towns, every corner of your mind.
all platforms. Everything that we're doing with our content, with our cloud and community.
What's up, grinders? Oh my goodness, how you doing? Yeah, it's Game Pass, baby. Game Pass. Yo, what's up? How's everybody doing? Hit that like button. Share it out. We are in the gaming grindhouse. Yes. Hope everybody had a great holiday weekend in the United States. Yeah, it was just some craziness, barbecuing, and it's gonna be a crazy week. So I wanted to make sure that we get a show for the grinders out there. So hit that like button, making sure. So it's a little early today, a little like uncharacteristic of it, but hey, this is the gaming grindhouse. You never know what you're gonna get. You never know when it's gonna happen. That's why you have to stay subscribed. You gotta hit those notifications, do all that stuff, because you never know when I'm gonna come at you and do a grindhouse call. And here we are. And it's a trifecta of news. That's it. This is it. This is it. There's not them. We need to talk. There's plenty. There's plenty. We need to talk about it. So hit that like button. Shout out to everybody coming on in here. Mayor Wilcox, Sam Ash. Yo, shout out to Big Dog Ron M with the 5 VIPs, making sure our club stays full. And Leech, Mayor Wilcox, Cosmic Hero, 8K Do Sensible, Ant Methods. Welcome again to the VIPs. Flex that new emoji, everybody. I told you, we hit about 200 members, man. Thank you so much for the VIPs. We got a new emoji. I was able to do 2 new emojis in 1 week. It's incredible. We got the micro soft emoji.
There's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. S-A-W-F-T.
There it is. Microsoft. Yes, that's right. We got the Microsoft emoji, Phil Ness Clown, and then the Gaming Grindhouse. When you hear Gaming Grindhouse music, which is exclusive day and date, our own Grinds Pass here for the ultimate grinders. They get to listen to brand new music coming their way, about 3 songs a week with a video each time. So enjoy that. Ultimate Grinders, I got songs queued up for you for this week. You're going to like them. You're going to like them. There'll be a couple of new songs that I sprinkle in here that I had some creative vision here. As you heard of the Game Pass song, it's all on Game Pass there. And then we have a brand new, a little jingle for when we get to COD Black Ops there. But shout out to everybody coming on in here. Ant Methods, Neil, Ty Marshall, Sam Ash, Toolman's in the house, Mr. Carter, Truth Serum, Marty McFly. Yes, Back to the Future. Tell us what's going on, Marty. Tell us that this worked out for Call of Duty. Please come back. Tell us, Marty McFly, what happened in the future when you come back. Tell us that it worked out and everything's great and Call of Duty is the best it's ever been. Oh my goodness. Ain't that a future? JC, what's up? Leech, Silver, Grizzy, how you doing? Ron M, the man, the myth, the legend right there with the Gaming Grinders VIP gifts. And then he comes bearing gifts all the time. I don't call him Santa Ron M over there. Roadkill Sandwich. Oh my goodness, that's a new one there. How you doing, man? Welcome. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss out on this entertainment and this fun that we have here at the Gaming Grindhouse. The only kind of musical entertainment theatrics, kind of one-man show, sometimes multi-person show, whatever we call it. Who the hell knows? This is the Gaming Grindhouse. Andrew, what's up? Primal Plasma, T. Harris, DeFloyd, what's up? Grinders, how you doing? Andrew Shakespeare and Harry Tran, how you doing? On there, Dylan Rafferty, Truth Serum, coming on in here. Hit that like button. The Unknown, here he is. Big Razzo, VIP grinder right there. Man, you look at those emojis. There you go. That's right. Satisfied the Beast. What's up, Kratos99? How you doing, man? What's up, Maniolas? Working those Twitter streets. So, yes, we are hitting high. We're on our way to 3,000 grinders. Incredible. Get them, grindhounds. Oh, shit. Get them. We don't want Game Pass. Not today. I got to think about it.
Prepare ship.
Oh, shit. Marty's from the past. Oh no, Truth Serum, not like this. What's up, Curse Kane? How you doing? That makes you sound like ancient grind. Okay, Ron. We won't do that. We won't do that on that one. So yeah, first things first. This is the first thing I wanted to talk about. What's up, 3 Mile Island? How you doing, man? What's up, John Wayne? Classic John Wayne coming on in here. What's up, man? What the hell's going on? There we go. I got it there. What's up, Sweet Willie? Sweet Willie. Nice, Queen. It's that's the grindhouse, man. He comes, he knocks on the door around 5 o'clock. I'm telling you, man. He comes around the door. My dogs, I got trained. We don't want that trash. Get him! Bite his ankles! There we go. That's it. They ring the doorbell. Alexa answers the door, and he's like, "Sir, would you like a month of Game Pass?" Get him! Get him! Bite his ass! Get him off our porch! That's what we do. Those are the grindhounds. We don't want that stuff. Put it in the mailbox! We don't want your stuff! Stick it in the door. I don't want it. Get that shit out of here. I don't want it, man. Like, I don't want those green cards. I see those green cards show up. I'm like, get them! Get them! Goes like, oh shit. Sir, what did you say about this Game Pass? Sir, no. Get out of here. That's right. And they're basically two little Shih Tzus. That's what they are. But they're trained to kill at an instant when they see that green card coming in, slipping under the door. They bite those hands. Trained Shih Tzus. They look
You're
cute.
my number one
When
customer.
you flip out some like 1 month of Game Pass, they turn savage on that one. They turn savage. That's right. My Shih Tzus are called Quality Gaming. There they are. That's quality and there's gaming. Those are my two Shih Tzus. Quality and gaming. There they come. When that trash comes in the door, they bite them. That's right. Hit that like button. Let loose the dogs of war. That's right. Call of Duty style. That's right. I call in my dogs. What's up, Cosmic Hero with the $10? Yo, thank you so much, man. He goes, hope you had a great weekend, Jez, but remembered my old chat when I said Microsoft loses either way. My take still stands. This really is dumb, but it's Microsoft, so it's no surprise. That's right. That's right. I'm gonna give my opinion on that, but I agree with you, Cosmic Hero. Pretty much on the same page there. Microsoft, there they are, right there. There they are. But yeah, they did. They lose either way. Hell, they lost before this even happened by spending $80 billion. They already lost already. Spending all that money. They already did. But we'll get to it there. But yeah, they already lost. They were $80 billion in the hole. You know how that works. What's that? What? Who's that? Wait a second, I hear something. I'm hearing something. No, it's not. There's nothing else. It's who's this? Groban?
Time to
Groban!
Xbox take
Oh shit, Groban in the house. Hit that like button for Groban. 80 billion. 80 billions. What are we doing here? We found out today.
We need $80 billion. Gotta make a splash.
Candles in the air, everybody. Candles in the air.
We'll go all out, no holding back. Led by fearless and booty, we'll bring the games everywhere. No more shocking, it's time to show we can.
And what happened to Big Booty Bobby? What happened? Tell me.
Start by bringing pen and men. Sea of Thieves, high-fi, rushing round at games over to PlayStation and Switch. And we will say that exclusives don't matter anymore. And then when we get started, feel ready for the picture. Big Booty Bobby in the loo walked out with the bag, and now left with all these IPs. What the hell are we supposed to do? $80 billion, gotta make a splash. To be relevant, we'll go all out, no holding back. Led by fearless and booty, we'll bring the games everywhere. No more something, it's time to show we can.
Man, $80 billion. We'll get to it. That's just one time you're gonna hear that song, man. They spend $80 billion. Yeah. Yo, shout out Pirate King with the $2.50. Hey, Jez, graphic designer here. Let's do a collab. Oh, damn. Business. Yo, Pirate King, we might do something. I'll talk to you. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. There you go. But there you go. Hey. $80 billion. But before we get to the $80 billion, Before we get to the $80 billion and Big Booty Bobby and Lulu walking out with the bag. Before we even get to there, the trifecta of the 1, 2, and 3 topics.
You're my number one customer.
Let's start with number 1 because all of a sudden it has been forgotten. Only 419 players playing online anymore. It has been forgotten. Down the toilet bowls. A game 5 months into the year. A game 7 years in the making. Vacation photos galore of rocks and streams and splashes of water and devs walking around oceans. Vacation photos, dev diaries, mocap out the ass.
I'm here
And
to
now-
tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
Now we're going. Hellblade 2.
Gaming.
Oh shit, hey fam. Hellblade 2. What that's it. It's done. It finished. I finished it in one stream last night, and I've got it in the last week. I'll tell you something about it. We got to do just a little grindhouse review. But it's now with today's news. Hell, who? You mean Helldivers 2, right? Yeah, that's right. That's the hell that we want to focus on. That's the hell. 3 Mile Island, 25 months a member. Holy shit, over 2 years of VIP jamming. He's an ultimate grinder. Listen to the jams and the music at his will. He gets all the music day one. Incredible. 3 Mile Island, ultimate grinder sitting right there. He goes, why is everyone saying Microsoft is up in revenue since the ABK acquisition if it's some kind of flex? We don't actually need to start at minus $80 billion first and then add the revenue. Yeah, they don't count in the consideration that they spent God's sum of money to buy this to be up 40% when they were down last year. And to add to that 3 Mile Island, it's going to be interesting next year when you're matching apples to apples of how much Call of Duty has grown. And if you want to talk about revenue and profit, man, they are with this Call of Duty thing, they're betting again on green. And I don't know, man. I think they took too many bets. It's somebody that's in that somebody that just keeps throwing money down. It's like, dude, just go in the casinos. It's like, yo, just go home. Just go home. Stop making bets that you stop cashing. Stop it. Don't let me say it. Let Huggy say it. Huggy, get in here. Special guest with your stupid ass takes I see on Twitter. There he is. Where is he?
Stop. Enough.
You should take your own advice, sir. Take your own advice, sir. Please get him in here. Special guest. Oh man, Ice Cream Gamer fell asleep. Damn melatonin. Oh shit. So anyway, back to Hellblades. But thank you. I appreciate the super chat. We're gonna get into that about the $80 billion on there. But here we go. Where is my share screen? Where the hell did it go? Hit that like button, grinders. Hit that like button, grinders. Now let them know that we're here. So anyway, let's have some Snorefest in the background. So yeah, Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2. Dude, do you see that thing on Twitter, man? I have it bookmarked. I'll show it later, man. Oh my god. I don't know if I'll show. Dude, that's I think we need a chime for the clown music. But anyway, yo, I fell asleep. Cosmic Hero said I fell asleep. I don't know people in the pocket. And Gene, I have no clue, dude. I have no clue. No. Anyway, Oliver was going in on him on Twitter. It was pretty crazy. So back to the review with Hellblade Dois. Listen, I've seen the takes back and forth of people, but I'm going to give you my take. I played the first Hellblade on PlayStation because that's where it was. And like I said, it was a $30 indie game that had production value as that of a AAA. It had gamified combat where you could actually parry and it goes in slow motion and you do all these nice things. It had a story element that had incredible sound, incredible narrative, and it was a very unique and telling story. What's up, Holomoko? The second one is just a shiny cone of paint on something that is shallow as it can be. It's shallow. This game is shallow. It it is to be harsh on it, it's a soulless Hellblade. It's soulless. It does not have what the first one had. And I played it live. You heard my reactions live as I was reacting to things happening in the game. But it goes along to, it wasn't nurtured. It didn't expand on ideas and concepts from the first game. It regressed. The combat is less than. Yes, it looks pretty because it's all mocapped canned animations. Mocapped animations, and it looks visually pleasing. But in controlling as a game, it doesn't do much at all. The first one, you fought multiple enemies. You actually had to time parries. It had a little bit of that element. Another element that nobody even brought up was the illusion of the rot. The rot was an element in the first game where they scared you in the beginning, where they said every time you die, the rot will migrate up your arm, and if it gets to your head, you will die permanently. And they scared you to believing there's permadeath in the game. It really wasn't, but actually at the end of the game, spoiler in the sense, the rot does get to a head. So it was a story element, but it was conveyed in the beginning as something that may affect your save or affect your game, which added a level of tension to your fights. You didn't want to die because every time you died, you would get the rot move up your arm. It was made it a little more intense, a little more dramatic, a little more mature. This is comical. When you die, it just goes right back into the animation. Some of it is even ridiculous. Like I joked around when we went to fighting the in the flame pot over here, how it was just, this is a respawn. You die, watch this. I couldn't believe how the first game treated death and how this treats death. Like when you get hit with this thing, here, let me go a little bit earlier. When I couldn't believe, I didn't even know what happened. I was like, well, wait a second, what's happening here? Like, look, that's a respawn. That, if you miss the stream, that is how they treat death during these sequences. You get hit by fire, you just teleport back to the last thing. They don't even say you died. They don't even say anything. It's like an army of Senuas. It was comical. Considering how the first game in this world treated death as an intense thing. And where the hell is it now? Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what's going on? But these are the ways that it regressed in a sense. Like they did, like look at that. That's how she responds. And it's so strange going how the first game treated death as this very dramatic thing and almost teasing permadeath. They turned this into not even a game over screen. And this was one of the boss battles. So, while I said it was a soulless game, I think it's also, believe it or not, the graphic-wise, I believe it's an unfinished game. This is my take as I was thinking about this, because I did think about this for a while. I didn't want, you heard my instant reactions. You could go back, listen, I clipped a couple of them. You could go back and listen to some of the reactions. But one of the things that I feel is that story-wise, the game had an interesting story. And again, if you want to play it, spoilers, you could skip this section. But let me tell you something. The story element of this thing, where she wanted to see where they were taking her people to, and they were feeding them to the giants because the giants were eating them, and they had to deal with the giants. The giants came over from an explosion of a volcano. So they had this idea of these giants, right? So all of a sudden the game goes from, instead of going to these slave gatherers, these people that are taking their people, now you need to help them to find out why these giants are eating, why these giants are here, and we got to slay the giants because they're the reason why the people are getting fed to them. And I was like, oh man. And coming to the part where you get to see the giant, this part right here, where you get to see the giant, I'm like, oh man, like, okay, things are getting serious here. Like, this may be something interesting. Well, now you're like, hey, This game is bigger and better. This game is going to be crazy because now we're going to fight these big giants. So now Hellblade 2 has taken it to the next level because the first game was just one-on-one, kind of like simple combat. You had some boss fights, but now we're going to fight giants. Right? We're going to fight these giants. Here they come. I was like, oh, man, look, she's going to start fighting these giants. All right, so now Hellblade 2 is taking the next level. There's 2 or 3 giants that are in here that are running over the land. Incredible animation. I gotta say, the top thing was the animation and design capture of the giants. That was insane, especially this one. One of them they spoiled and showed already. But the fight of the giant, you're like, oh man, here we go. We're gonna fight these giants. Well, I think I think somebody walked in there. I'm not gonna say who, but somebody walked in there like, hey, Microsoft, we have this great idea. We got these giants. Senua is gonna fight these giants. This is gonna be a bigger and better Hellblade than the first one. Epic battle. She's going to fight these giants and fight her demons at the same time. We're gonna have 3 giants, and then somebody was like, and then here he comes. What's that? What? Oh no! Oh no! Here he comes! No! Oh no! It's scoping time! Oh no! Not trash finger!
Let me see that booty
drop. No, not the booty! Not scoping! Oh no! No! Booty comes in there and he's like, nah. 3 bosses? Scope it. Booty with the scope. Scope it down. We're not having 3 bosses. But you're not fighting those bosses. Let me put trash finger on it. Hold on. Let me hit the button. There we go. Yeah, I fixed it. Now the bosses will just be a cutscene. You'll say their name, never-ending story style. It worked in Bootleg Joel when we named him at the end of Halo. You're going to name the giant, and the giant will just die. Scope that shit. We're not fighting. What? What? Epic, huge, big battle? Like, we're thinking God of War level. Like, yo, he's going to fight these titans. She's going to fight this giant. Let's go. The story was there for her to fight these giants. Instead, Booty went in there, shit on his finger, and touched the scoping button and scoped the shit out of it. And told them, hey, you know what? No. We're not doing this. No. We're going to do this right here. We're not going to fight the giants. We're not going to have this big epic battle. We're not doing this God of War style. And the reason why I say God of War is because when Ninja Theory was purchased by Microsoft, everybody was thinking Hellblade will be their God of War. Oh, we go back to tapes in 2019 and 2018. Oh, yeah, Hellblade was going to be that big. Open world. Big, massive. Oh, I was on Planet Xbox. Yes, that was the talk. It was going to be epic because Ninja Theory now has the money of Microsoft. Make them better. No, they're not making better. They made it less. They scoped the shit out of it. Booty came in there, double fisting scopes. He went in there and scoped the hell out of it. He's like, no. We're not going to have a boss battle. Instead, you're just going to run through the volcano like this. All right, we're going to run. We're not fighting them. Run. $50, by the way. Game was more money than the first one. First one was 30. This is 50. 50, ladies and gentlemen. 50. We're going to scope it. Wait. No, this is it. You run. Yep, we have no time to say game over. Too long. She just spawns. It makes perfect sense in the world. I have no clue why. She just burns and respawns. Like, no time for that. Like, the game just wants you to finish it as fast as it can. Please, go through. Get through it. Well, you're gonna slice 3 chains. And then you're going to see her, and we're not going to fight it. Instead, we're going to say its name. She gets a baby. You bring in the baby. I don't know where the baby was when Senua was dying. There you go. Say its name, and then we are kaputs. And then we're done. And the thing dies. Say its name. No combat. No fighting. Cutscene. No interaction. She hit it with a sword before in a cutscene, but not now. Now, those Gamepass respawn. That's it. There we go. You walk up the little lever, and then we run through a couple more firewalls, And then, oh, wait, we had to respawn. Up, respawn again. Booty rewind. Respawn again. And then, here we go. And then it just dies. We just say its name, cutscene, give it a baby, and it dies. And that's your one giant fight. Then we go, hey, you know what? Let's do another giant fight. The one that they spoiled, making you think this was going to be an epic battle. That now in Hellblade 2, you're going to fight these giants. They made you think that. And this one, you throw the spear at him. And then after you throw the spear at him, you do another platforming thing to run at him. And then you say his name. So this is the water version of what we just did with the fire. So tell me this wasn't scoped. All right. The water version of what we did with the fire. It's like somebody said, oh, yeah, by the way, it's a game. Do something. Oh, okay, here we go. Well, we'll do just what we did with the fire, hiding behind the wall. We'll do that with water now because we're fighting the water god, the water giant, which he's in the tornado. And we're just running to him to say his name. And then when you go say his name, oh, here we go again with our wonderful respawning. Yeah, he's the tornado's throwing things at you. And then, again, she gets hit with things, and she does her wonderful respawn. And this. So, all this stuff where... There's a respawn right there. And then you go up to the giant here, and then this is it. You run to the tornado, tell the giant his name, and he dissolves. This was the game. That is the giants. And then all of a sudden she teleports back and like the giant. And the reason how, and then on top of that, the way you find out the giant's name, the way you find out after this was the horrible puzzle here. These friggin' puzzles. This is how you find out. This is the climax to how you get the giant's name. You walk through a story. Just walk. They could sit there and tell you the story, but you just walk. And this is after walking throughout the whole game. That all passive, just walking. And now this one's even worse because this is underwater, so you're working slow. But they're telling you the story of who the giant was and to get his name at the end so that you could just run to him, tell him his name, and he dies. So this is how the elements of this game being billed as you're going to fight these giants, because what they showed you was this scene, right? When they showed you Hellblade, what did they show you? What did they show you when they showed you Hellblade? Hellblade 2, right? What did they show you? The giant in the cave, right? Where is he? This is the whole game, by the way. 6-7 hours. This is the whole game. So I got the whole game up on my channel. But yeah. This is what they showed you, right? They showed you the cave. Is this the part? No, that's not the part. Anyway, they showed you the cave of the giant. And then the final boss is basically a character. It's not even... They bill it as this huge, big battle. So then when you say story-wise, it was built for this epicness. They showed the giant fight. They showed the giant sequence as, wow, look at the size of the enemies that you're going to fight. But it didn't. You didn't fight it. The story was there, though. It was there to build this incredible kind of epic fight. God of, like I said, God of War 3 style. God of War, like, you're going to fight these giants. Okay, now this is taking Hellblade to the next level. Thank you for buying them, Microsoft. Thank you. Microsoft? No, you went soft. You went Microsoft on it. And that's where I was thinking about it. And I was like, somebody went in there and scoped the shit out of it. They said, you know what? You have the story that she's going to fight giants, but we're not going to fight them. Like, my thing is that if you're going to have these giants as the main protagonists in the game, the main antagonist in the game, and it was the twist, because you were going there to find why these guys were capturing your people, and they wound up negotiating and feeding them to the giants. That was the twist. Like, oh man, we're dealing with giants now. Well, you animated them, but you don't fight them. 600 people on Steam, says Impatient Fire. Dude, it's dropping. Even for the weekend, it didn't jump up. It's done. This thing's going to go as low as Redfall now. It's done. And this is all you do is walk. No new puzzles. Instead, they took the old puzzles and they added bubbles to it. Less puzzles in the first game. They took the game elements out of the game. That's how this became a regression. Not just with the combat, but with the story. You had boss fights in the first game. Different ones. You had like a demon dog. You fought a fire guy. You fought a fire god. You went to hell. You fought all different types of enemy shapes and sizes. Different combats. It was a game. And this one, they're a little platforming to a cutscene to say its name. So it is a complete regression. And that's in addition to the limited combat. No new weapons. No new moves. They took away the kicking move. They took away the rot element to her story. All of a sudden now she don't get killed by the rot anymore. And on top of that, the sound, while nice and unique, was very annoying. Because you had not only your left and right talking, but you also had the demons of your dad, which keep showing up, even though you thought she overcame that and accepted it at the end of the first game. But the second one, he's still haunting you, still telling you you're nothing, you're sick. Still listening to that stuff, and no real revelation to that. Anyway, if I missed it, but a regression, and basically lipstick on a pig. Like, it was a game that is so shallow and limiting and regressed, but they added the Unreal coat of paint onto it and mocapped it, which technically it's nice. But like I said, this maybe would have had more impact as a launch game for the next generation, maybe as a tease, like, oh, this is where we're going with games, sort of like what Rise was, you know, even though that's not what we went with games. But this would have been an impressive launch title. Just a shallow, good looker that kind of just like you could put it on your TV and go, look at my new Series X. Look at the power of this beast. And that's what it would have been, like a visual screensaver. But for this to come out 4 years after the launch of the Xbox, after promises and delayed games and failed first party before that, this is unfortunately not what you want. And it's not, and you're right, Robert Lawrence, like, it's not super clear. There's a lot of processing. It's soft imaging, some of the soft. It's not sharp and clean. There's a lot of softness to it, the facial, but the animations are there. And on top of that, Melina Juergens, who mocapped and you know, did all the voicing and did the stuff, really doesn't have a lot of moments there. She very rarely, like 2 or 3 times in a 6-hour game, does she really speak that much. And that's where, what's up, SN Kev? How you doing, man? Yo, Sayo, at 30 frames. Yeah, well, a power at 30 frames. You're right, Sayo. But hey, 30 frames at launch. No, 30 frames 4 years in. Oh, pause on that one. But when you look at it, when you're looking at this thing, Soft Blade 2, oh shit, Outside Gaming Night with the new title. Hit that like button, yeah. A pre-installed demo, mass produce. And I think it would have more impact on that. But they regressed, and they took away what was great about the first one. And I remember that Booty interview. I played it a whole many times, where he said if the second one was the same scope and size of the first one, they would consider that a success. And I played that, what was it, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and people will respond, that's fear-mongering, you know, all that stuff. But Matt Booty basically said it, you know. He told that guy on it was in Game Informer. He said, you know, when you look at Hellblade, it's a good piece of constraint. It's right here.
So there's still
right here. Tell us.
How important do you think Hellblade?
Tell
was
us, Trash
to that
Finger.
acquisition? Do you feel like Microsoft would have been just as interested if Hellblade didn't perform the way it did?
Well, I think Hellblade is a great thing to point out as an example, because it is just a great example of the kind of game that we are looking for from the studios that we've acquired recently, which are, they're not going to be 90-hour AAA games, but what they are going to be are things that are super well crafted, that will have as close to AAA production values as we get, but we're going to scope them so that they can be done well by a smaller studio. So I think, to me, the magic of Hellblade is how well it was built, how compelling its story was, but it is a masterful bit of design constraint and scoping, so that what it does really well. And it's, it's not a 100-hour game, but the 10 to 15 hours gameplay that it is really, really well done. And so I think for us, it was more of a test case of, hey, if we were to acquire Ninja Theory and they were to just continue shipping games of the quality and scope of Hellblade, would we consider that a success? And the answer is yes. And I think that where that helps our strategy is when you think about something like Gamepass, where people are subscribing and they really want to know that there's, hey, what's next? I'm going to play this, what's coming up? Those kinds of games are great. And they're things that fit perfectly in between our bigger AAA releases. So I don't know that Hellblade was the pivot point, but it certainly was a great example or test case to prove out, what we're looking for when we acquire.
Oh, and second us too.
Number one customer.
Games are coming fast. 12 minutes and Hades. And they're all on Game Pass. Some of them are like a Requiem. What to play first and what to play last. Skyrash 2, Ground, Shroom, and Doom. 'Cause they're all on Game Pass. Among Us, The Ascent, and more.
And he did that interview not 1 year ago, not 2 years ago, not even 3 years ago, but a friggin' big ass quattro 4 years ago. He did that interview for 4 years ago. That's right, Toolman. Soft scoping. There you go.
There's only one word.
Microsoft. Booty soft.
Spell it out for you. S-A-W-F-T.
Microsoft. There you go. And that was 4 years ago. These sons of bitches telling about hyped up for Game Pass. From that interview, what did he say? Scoping, constraint. And that's great because of Game Pass. Excuse me? Excuse me. Those are the words you want to hear? He told you 4 years ago that Hellblade 2 wasn't going to be that much more than what they had. And actually, it's less. He was like the 10 to 15 hours. My ass, 10 to 15 hours. My ass, 10 to 15. There's 6. I did it all here. Here it is. I even did a friggin' podcast in the beginning. Look at this. I talked for a half hour in the beginning and started the game. Here you go. I started the game here. I talked for 40 minutes. So of this 7 hours and 46 minutes, 46 minutes of this thing was me doing a podcast in the beginning. The 7 hours of there it is. Where the hell's the 10 to 15? Where is it?
Prepare ship. Prepare ship for ludicrous speed. Prepare ship.
Yeah, where is it? He told you 4 years ago, and they will consider that a success because of Game Pass. And this is going to lead right into, Call of Duty. It's going to lead right into Call of Duty because the rubber's hitting the road. This is exactly what they want because of Game Pass. Why? Why? Why do we need to scope and be constrained because of Game Pass? Why? Because the Claymores is getting it with a box of Cheerios. Because John Wayne stacked 3 years for $60 a year and upgraded for $1. Because Mr. Carter bought a box of Chips Ahoy and it came with a month of Game Pass. Because I bought an iPad and it came with 3 months. I bought a Samsung TV, it came with a month. I bought a computer, I got 3 months. Oh my God, I bought a camera. Oh, there's a month of Game Pass. Why? I don't. There's a Samsung camera Game Pass. Why? Why is it scoping and constraint are the key words when it comes to Game Pass? Because of budget dollar bill fill gaming. That's why. Because you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. And they made this $50. $50. This was more money than the other one, which was $30. Interesting. Scoping and constraint. And look at this. And a regression. See, Mr. Carter he got it with Verizon. He got a Game Pass. So I said, oh, there we go. What? Get him. Phil, get your ass out of here. I don't want you get him. Bite him. I don't want Game Pass. Get him. Chase him away. He's trying to slip a Game Pass under the door. See? He harasses me in the neighborhood. I'm going to get the freaking the thing on, the cameras. Get him. He's trying to slip it under the door. Get him. I don't want it. I'm not signing up for it. Tell him. They had me at design constraint. Exactly. So there goes to my review of how this is a regression of the first, but a prettier coat of paint on it. So, combat, story, regressed. Visuals, looks nice, but as I showed in my gameplay, nothing interacts with it. You can't interact with anything. You walk on this path. You can't go on those rocks. You can't go to the left. You can't go to the right. You got to walk the line. Walk the path. That's it. And what's interesting is that, looking at this, I had a lot of Death Stranding vibes as I was going through here because of the rocks and those things. And what do we do in Death Stranding? Wide open world. You could climb on those rocks. Your character interacts with all the physics in the world in Death Stranding. But I wanted to see, because I felt like Death Stranding with these rocks, but you cannot divert. There may be a path, and that path leads you to a tree. They'll give you a little story element, a little bit of lore. That's it. That's it. And this is it. You can't go anywhere. It's so linear. There were no open areas of exploration. There was no little pockets or hub worlds or anything. You walk that line. There's no diverting from this line. You can't go anywhere. Even when I was in this little town. Here, when you're in this town, that's it. Here's your area. It was a path that went up. And because of that, the game seemed longer than what it was. Because the puzzles made you follow these paths. And then you walk the path. You had to get a key or do something at the end of the path. Then you had to walk around the path. You couldn't jump down. Where they only want you to jump down, there you go in an animation. That's it. Now I have to go back up. Now watch, when I do this mission, I got to go back up to that path because it gives me a visual of the thing that I need to unlock. So now that I'm looking for the signs, which is the same puzzle from the first game, you have to use the platform to look up. Now they had this in the first game, but they had it in different areas. But look at this. It was just this linear path. Like, see, that path. You can't go anywhere else. And then you do this, and then and that's to unlock the puzzle. But the paths were the game. Like, navigating the path was how you solve the puzzles. The puzzles were simple. The problem was that because of the limited traversal, that was it. There was walk the line. That's right, Leech. No run button, mass produce. No jump button. There is a run button. I toggled it on. She jogs. I think I demonstrate that somewhere here. That's her running. So before that's the run. Again, there's the path. Nowhere else. Follow the characters. They'll walk to you. That's her walking, and the before was running. And that's it. She couldn't run faster. But then when you do those cutscenes, those scenes where she's running through the fire, she's beaming it. She's running fast. But that's only for those scenes. What's up, Taran? How you doing, man? She can't jump. Nope. And she shimmies all over the place, Dave Rock. Nobody complained about the shimmying this time. It was all the rage in God of War Ragnarok about the shimmying and load screens. Nobody complained about the shimmying here. She shimmied all over the friggin' place. Shimmying down holds and the side of holes and all these things. Shimmying all over the place. And not one person said that's a load screen. Nope. They wouldn't dare say it. They would never say such a thing. Why would they say such a thing? No shimmy gate on this one. She shimmied all over the freaking place. No jump button. No shimmying. And there's our running. Blazing speeds. Can't even swing your sword while you're doing this. Your sword only activates when you're in a combat scenario, which is a rehearsed area. So she can't even slice a crate, interact with a barrel, nothing. There's no physics to anything. There's no, when there's a barrel, it's static. When there's a chair, it's static. When there's anything in the buildings, everything's on the table, everything's static. You can't interact with anything. You can't, any of that stuff. There's nothing. There's no interaction. She's in the town here. You're in, you're in these buildings. You're in these rooms. This is the worst part. The cave part. Yeah. This was just all weird puzzles and stuff like that. This took forever. This cave part following that ghost. But when you're going through these villages here, like, see, all this stuff, like, there's no interaction with any of those things. But yeah, it really is a walking sim to say a walking sim. So, and I would say the first one is light years better than this one. But I feel like they had something. That cave chapter was horrible. This section, this whole middle section. Oh my god! And these bubble puzzles. This is the new ones. See, shimmy. These bubble puzzles where you had to bring the bubble to the thing and look at the bubbles that change the environment. But see, it's all just drawn out because that's as fast as you can walk. That's as fast as you can go. Look how fast that you're going. That's it. And that was the thing that just added to the game. It just dragged it out. It just takes you that much time to put those things there. Bamboozled. This was the coolest part of the game, was how the water drained right here. I thought that was pretty impressive. I thought that was an interesting thing. But then that began the sequence of the cave, which was a friggin' nightmare on it. But I could not believe how shallow and soft this game was. So shallow, so just so empty and soulless. And even the ending wasn't even satisfying. You don't even know what it is. Like, what is she torn between? The giants are dead because she said their names. She fought the guy at the end, the king. You know, spoiler if you want to move ahead. But basically, you're building up to this fight here. And then my frame rate dropped or something. But after you kill that last giant, now you got to go walk into the town. And then you fight all the guys and the giant. And you think you're going to fight the giant, and instead you wind up fighting the king. Spoiler, there you go. So you don't even fight this. They're like, he's the biggest, and then my frame rate went tanked. I had to restart the sequence. But you just fight. See, and you don't even die. And then it's just like she either determines that she wants to be a valiant leader, like, and the people respect her, or she becomes a tyrant. She don't know.
You're my number one
And then
customer.
she realizes that, oh, she has a choice. And it's her choice to choose how she wants to lead, whether she wants to be a tyrant or she wants to be a leader of the people. And that's the ending. That's it. That's the ending. Still the whispers in the ear. Who knows? But that's what I got out of it. In this little cutscene. The Claymores with the 10, he goes, their obsession with motion capture hurt game design. First game had big animal enemies, a flying boss. Sequel has only human enemies because it's hard to mocap animals and flying enemies. Yeah, they did not animate. It was all mocap. It was almost akin, if you think about this, it was almost like those Until Dawn, those kind of games. Because those are short games too. They're not mocap entirely, but they're all acted on. Those what is it? Those games from Supermassive. That's what it was like, just walking around, looking around. But there was no, at least those games offer you story elements that you could change and animate in your decision making and all that other stuff. There's some game there, but that's at least what it's like. There was no choice here. There was no determination. There was nothing that you could do to do that. But when you do have the those other games from Supermassive, like Until Dawn, like those the Man of Medan and those games. I like those games, the horror games. But you have a choice who lives and who dies. Those Dark Pictures anthology. Thank you, Efrain. Like those are walking around and stuff like that. But but that's what they are. They're shorter games. They're like 6 hours, but they have replayability. They even have co-op where you get people making different decisions in those games. Plus, you actually change that stuff. This is nothing. This is a one trick, one line, one and done, straight line walking. There's no, and this is it. When you have these combat sequences here, and again, they look cool, but you're just hitting the button and parry. That's it. And then you die, but then you don't die. And then he does a slow motion, and then you just hit a button to get out of the way. That's it. There's nothing. And then you slow the time down, and now she's responsive. And I said that the whole stream. I'm like, that's when it's like she's responsive, like the first game, is when she freezes time. Now it's all just like you hit the button and you wait for the animation. But you're right, the mocap, I think, hurt. And if anything happens to Ninja Theory, they'll probably be turned into some tech consultant for them. Danelle Brown, member of 15 months, your Sony friends on Twitter think the PS5 is the same level as a high-end PC. Sony fans are getting close to Xbox players, saying crazy stuff. Well, Danelle Brown, you know what's coming. Get ready for the PS5 Pro. PC and PS5 talk is not going to be more intense than that, because the claims that they're going to make with the PS5 Pro are going to be even wilder than you've seen before. So get strapped in and get ready for the chaos. But all I say is, in the words of Jim Ryan, eating pudding right now in his retirement home, is let the games do the friggin' talking. And that's all I say. You show me the games, and then I'll invest in your hardware. But there you go. Kazakh Hero with the 20. Why is Microsoft still trying to grow Game Pass? It's clearly not working, but Phil won't take no for an answer. So many IPs and studios have died under their management. How much longer before Satya cuts the cord? Hey, Cosmic Hero. I totally agree, and as a major take, because guess what? I totally agree with that. And that first sentence is exactly what I'm going to talk into when we get into that, because that is exactly how I feel as well there. So, I will definitely pin that comment there, because I'm going to come back to that. But just to wrap up the Hellblade stuff, disappointed. It was never bigger and better. They did horrible promotion for the game, and the game has now fizzed out, and there it is. And unfortunately, it's going to be forgettable. May win something with sound design and stuff, but I'll just go finishing with the sound stuff. I'm just telling you right now, the thing with the sound is that those whispers and stuff really don't add. When you're stuck on a puzzle, they don't help. Everybody's quiet all of a sudden. When you're trying to figure out where the hell's that sign? Where the hell do I have to do that? They could be whispering like this. They're like, oh, to the left. Okay, to the different perspective. Look up. To the right. Down. This. Instead, they're silent. And you're there walking around, looking in the sky, doing the Hillary Clinton meme, looking around, going, where the hell is the puzzle? Where is the visual? Where is it? I'm walking around like I was half the time. Like when I was over here in this section right here, oh my God, I wanted to go crazy. When I had to use the bubbles and I had to go look for the sign, I'm walking around here like this. This is Hillary Clinton meme all over the place. I was all over the place. And they were quiet. They're not saying anything. Grinders, listen, let's go through audio. They shut up for 20 minutes. Joe Ice Cream, how you doing? They went quiet. They went to lunch. They went to brunch. I agree, Crooked. I agree. I could not find this friggin' puzzle. I had to look it up online. Put a bubble there. This is me struggling for this stuff. Do you hear the whispers? Nope. I'm here running.
I just did a puzzle like this 4 seconds
I'm
ago.
running around like this. This is how I'm running
2
around
minutes
like
ago,
this,
right
looking
up
for the
middle.
puzzles.
They just made me do
I'm
this.
running around
doing
freaking
it
Hillary
again.
Clinton face. I'm like, where are the puzzles? Where are the puzzles?
Game's 1% played, 99%
Where are the
held.
puzzles?
You got that right.
That's me, Hillary Clinton face. Where are the puzzles?
Rudy went in there, it was like filler.
I'm like, what? Is that one? Looking all over. That was me. The puzzles. Do you hear the voices? Exhibit ABC, do you hear the voices? I didn't hear shit. They're not talking anymore.
I'm locked down here.
I had 4 friends. Meanwhile, they talk to you while other characters are talking to you. They don't shut up. But,
Tio, this is this is another puzzle.
Where are my voices?
20 minutes, 50, I just right there, I did this puzzle. There's another one.
Where are the voices? Go to the left. Go to Bill Spencer. Gamepass for $1.
Where's this last one, dude?
Said you would go get Gamepass.
Come on.
Pass for $1. Bill Spencer's the best.
Shit's not fun at all.
And Booty. Bill Spencer. Bill Spencer should pass that. Bill Spencer. Said you would that Bill Spencer. Telling you right now, Bill Spencer. Gamepass for $1. That's just a Gamepass. Oh my god, nothing like that. I'm surprised I didn't slip in Game Pass advertisements while I'm looking for this shit. 15 minutes. This is at the end of walking around. I gotta walk around some more.
Oh my
Do you
God,
hear
I
the
gotta go back
voices?
to where I was. I had to go.
Do you
I have to
hear
go
the
walk
voices?
now all the way friggin'
See,
back
Ice
to
Queen.
where I was.
JP Loco, that's right. Sorry, we're still learning.
Holy shit.
I took it on the chin. We're learning. Sorry. Xbox Podcast, I'm sorry. I took it on the chin. Exactly. JP Loco, they're whispering, we're sorry. We're still learning. I don't hear the voices. Where are my voices? But you want to hear the look? Do you hear them? Are they giving me clues? Are they giving you hints? Can you hit a button to say voices activate? No. There's the audio. There you go.
I gotta go back across to the thing. Like I said, I want to turn it off so bad, but like, I do not know where.
Meanwhile,
if I gotta do this,
I had to
bullshit.
find out. You had to go behind the boat.
That they made her run faster in those other scenes, so she can run faster. But they make her run.
Do you
like,
hear the
just look at
voices
this.
at all?
Ugh.
Meanwhile, listen to when they're doing a story. Watch this. Hear them during story elements.
I took him. It would be no less than he deserves.
Help me.
She is weak. Don't feel pity. He doesn't deserve it.
There they go.
She cannot do it.
Oh, they're talking now.
About him. She saw it.
Look, I'm yawning. That was yawn. I had 26 yawns.
A ray of light.
26.
There is no choice.
They're talking. Wait till
You're my number one customer.
Wait, I'm over here.
Go back and stop.
Yeah, we're not gonna. We made a pretty interactive movie. The same rock. Yeah, we're not gonna pull that shit out already. When I'm talking to these guys. Anyway, they're all talking. When you're doing story elements, they're all talking.
Combat mode.
Don't listen to them. Don't listen.
They're working on it right now behind the frosted glass. They're working on it.
Oh, damn, frosted glass. But anyway, sound, yeah, they were meaningless. All they just did was empty just noise left and right. They were very annoying. And then the guy will come in there. The guy, the other voice, the dad going, blah, 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 blah. He'll come like real low. But it really was not effective at all. It didn't add to anything. So I do not recommend the game. Even playing it on Game Pass, I do not recommend it at all. It does nothing to add to the first game. It does nothing to add. Game picks up after 4 hours, but it's only 5 hours. Oh, shit. What's up, Anonymous boss? But yeah, I do not recommend playing it. I think it's a waste of time. There's no satisfying ending, and it doesn't do anything to add to the story of Hellblade. Who knows if there'll be a third one. If it's the same as this, they could keep it. But it completely, once again, Microsoft has managed to take an IP that was once celebrated, once appreciated, and drive it into the ground and let 400 people now a week later go, yeah, who's that? Who Hellblade? Who? There you go. That's it. That is it. And I want to tell you something. There was photo mode in the game. How many people you see celebrating photo mode, dude? Nobody. All these people capped for the game and stuff like that. Photo mode. I was doing photo mode for months on end with Horizon. Nothing. And once again, they take a franchise and they drive it into the ground at the victim of Game Pass. And there you go. Now for a palate cleanse. And another one that grinds my gears is Sony. Here they go. Sony going around. Days of play have started tomorrow. Sony, you're forgetting something here. Let me tell you something, Sony. You're forgetting a little something, and it's called a friggin' showcase. All right? I appreciate the sales. I like days of play, but I would like to know what I'm going to play from your first party. So, Sony, get that goddamn showcase announcement out soon because this is becoming annoying as hell. All right? So they did announce this days of play. They do this every year around this time. A bunch of discounts, some new things going on. There's some exciting things in here. I don't know if it's going to be consistent, but we're here. Days of play. So the announcement today from Sony. Days of where the fuck is the showcase, right? True Serum? There you go. PlayStation Plus avatars. So they got those. PlayStation Plus content. So for June monthly games, they got Cosmic Shake SpongeBob. They got AEW Fight Forever. Oh, man. Remember that wasn't in a service in Game Pass and they went after the devs? Streets of Rage, which is really good. Played that already. Played all those games already. And then we got monthly game that still is available, Soccer. Exclusive Roblox. Pause on that one. And then they added PSVR 2 games in the days of play to premium service. So they added Ghostbusters, which I can't believe they haven't done VR 2 games in a while. I think it was just those combo type games, like games that could be played without VR and with VR. But you have this one where you have Ghostbusters, Walkabout Mini Golf, Synth. Synth Riders, which is my favorite game ever. I know football. Sorry, Ty Marshall. I forgot. It's early over here. Yeah, I know. MG and I'm the same with you. I bought that at launch as well. AEW Fight Forever. I even streamed it. I know. Just sorry. I hit the button. The grind children came down. So Synth Riders is my favorite game. I love that game. I play it on everything. That's my favorite game. Synth Riders. Been talking about it since day one. Walkabout Mini Golf is really good. Ghostbusters I haven't played. And then Walking Dead I streamed. That is really good as well. Very, very challenging game though. Before Your Eyes is a kind of an interactive movie. Hellblade, you have competition. Hellblade 2. You got some competition Before Your Eyes. But actually what's cool about Before Your Eyes is that it actually uses one of the few games that uses the one of the few games that uses the eye senses where if you close your eyes and the story opens up and tells you a story. So Before Your Eyes is an interactive movie, but you use your eyes to tell it. There, these are the eye tracking, which is interesting there. So those are the games that are available June 6th for premium members. So June 6th, though we're talking again another couple of weeks, another week or so, but adding PSVR 2 games, I hope it's consistent. I hope this is something that they do. Yeah, a little bit of VR 2 games, a couple of old games, emulated games, and a couple of other games. So we'll see. They still say more are coming. And then now this is a big thing here, the PS2 Classics catalog. So Tomb Raider Legend, Sly Cooper, and Star Wars The Clone Wars. Oh my God. That friggin' game was like bundled with every Xbox bundle, man. I remember that thing. That game was like a Xbox OG bundle. It was crazy. That game. No light. But the main difference here with these classic catalogs, they're finally getting PS2 games, but apparently they're using the PS2 emulator. We'll see when they launch, if they launch any different when we play them. But apparently we're finally getting PS2 games that were not PS2 games made for PS4. these are actually PS2 games now emulated for this. So we'll have to see. So apparently this is the PS2 emulator. That's where the big news comes here, that if this is something, this may be something bigger. So we'll see. But that is interesting. PS2 Classics catalog now is starting on June 11th here with using the emulator. Then additional games that they're adding to the catalog for premium and extra are Dredge, Lego Marvel Superheroes, Cricket 24, oh boy, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas Definitive, and then Trials, they're adding 2K24 for the game Trials. So pretty stacked what they're doing. And then for their Days of Play activities, during Days of Play, we want you to join the activities. They have a plan ahead. Better be a friggin' gaming showcase to show us your first-party games, right? Yeah, exactly. And Days of Play Community Challenge, we're bringing exciting new challenges to the thing. Blah, 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 blah. Rewards and members. Get your stars for participation campaign. So that's probably using the mobile app, which is nice. And then tournaments, they still support those. Esports tournaments. And then $50 off a PlayStation 5. So there's your console discount there. And then PlayStation Plus members get 12 months of Netflix Premium at no extra cost. Is that all? Everybody? That doesn't matter. I get it through T-Mobile anyway. Here you go. $50 off PlayStation 5, digital and regular. $100 off the PSVR 2. Finally. Holy crap. It took them. It took them forever. But finally, they're dropping the price of the PSVR 2.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Finally.
Holy Spirit,
Holy
activate.
crap.
Holy Spirit, activate. Activate. Activate.
$100 off the PSVR 2 and the bundle. Shocking. Probably want those PC dudes to get it. Finally. Didn't even do it for the holidays. And then $20 off Spider-Man 2, Last of Us 2 Remastered, MLB The Show, 24, and Rise of the Ronin gets a $20 off select titles. And then, as PS Plus members, you get the discount of Netflix. And here we go. This is the one where I always say, between May 29th and June 9th, new play... Oh, Sony! New players who join PlayStation Plus could save 30%? You mean I cannot buy a new... oof. Thank God for the next paragraph. I was about to rip Herman Holtz a new split. So current members get 25% off PlayStation Plus Extra or save 30% on premium for the remainder of their membership when they upgrade between memberships. Additionally, all members get 15% on core. I'll have to see this. All right. So if you upgrade, what about if I just buy it again? I think if I just buy it again, I'll get a discount. We'll see. But this is usually the time of year where I'll say, hey, buy another year of PlayStation Plus, whatever one you want, because this is when they discount it. They discount it now, and they discount it near the holidays. Those are the 2 times a year that you should pay for the subscription, because that's where you get at least a discount on it. I don't give a shit about that movie. That's right, Dave Rock. I don't care about that. JC says a comment. Where did JC? JC, I can't find it all through here. What is it? What is that, chat? What is it? PP logo. I didn't see JC. I didn't know what you said. I can't. I run through the thing. But yeah, so at least there's a discount. Check it out. PlayStation Store is giving a discount there. So, yeah. The only thing it's missing is a friggin' showcase. All right? Because enough, I can't believe how tone deaf it is. Like, when is it happening? If you're not going to do E3, then don't friggin' do E3. But you're doing Days of Play like you used to do E3. So, you know what? That would have been nice to have and we're going to have a showcase. So, hey, they announce it for next week. They tell us this week for next week. I don't know, but it's getting a little like, come on now. All right. Because what's coming out next? Like, that's the thing. We finished Stellar Blade. That came out in April. Like, now, like, where, like, let's go. Like, what's the next second half of this year going to look like? And I just want to see what's coming out second half of this year, especially from them. We know third-party shit. Like, what's coming out from them? And don't leave it to Jeff Keighley smuggling grapes. Please don't. But we will see. But Sony got to be a little like, yo, where is it? Let's go. But these are the days to play. Oh, my God. JC, not like that. September? Woo-wee. I don't know. Especially with the next news that's coming. So, the next news is, well, you know what? Let's just do it in tune. Oh, and some side news, too. Somebody wrote in the chat. Yes, the next Doom is rumored to be shown at the Xbox showcase. And apparently there will be, it's going to be launching on PlayStation as well. So the next Doom is going to be PlayStation and Xbox as well. There. Outside Gaming Night says Herman Holtz takes over as CEO. Maybe there'll be a showcase in June. I don't know, man. If it was me, I would say Days of Play is great. This is the time you get people excited because this is what they used to do. They do a showcase. Well, last year's showcase was horrible. It didn't help them. But they showed Spider-Man, though. That was the big takeaway for last year's showcase, that they showed Spider-Man, too. But you have some sort of like, hey, here's the stuff coming to PlayStation. Oh, and here's Days of Play. Go get yourself a PlayStation. Go buy some games. So we got part 1. Now we just need part 2. And we'll see if it happens or not. Because last year's showcase didn't do much, but Spider-Man 2 did help last year's showcase. So, or a state of play. Either one. Something along those lines. So, the next topic is the big one that everybody's been talking about, and that is the Call of Duty Black Ops 6, confirmed now by Microsoft to be launching in Game Pass day 1. So that's the big news that came out today. And it said, along those lines, hey, Sony, let's go. Let's share some news. Sounds good, right? So officially on Xbox Wire, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 coming to Game Pass day 1. Excited to jump in, and they used this trailer here, which had some sort of, just some stuff, some that, and then at the end, June 9th.
Play it day 1 with Game Pass.
There it is, day 1 with Game Pass. Oh, there's my thumbnail. How nice. So, we're pleased to announce Call of Duty on June 9th. It was redacted before. We'll share more details of what's coming in this all do. Get your eyes in the first look. If you're new to Game Pass, we got a figurative mountain of games for you to check out. And the people who play Call of Duty won't care that there's 200 games in there on this one. I got you, Frogs. Frogs jumped on when we were coming in for the Call of Duty stuff. But before that, we're gonna have some intro music here. Let the Grindhouse talk about Call of Duty right now. Here it is, Grinders. Hit that like button. Here we go. Doors are open.
New news just dropped tonight. Xbox Game Pass feels long but so right. Got my crew tramp stamps inside. Boot up Xbox, ready for the fight.
Wow. What an intro. Welcome, Frogs. I knew you wanted to talk about this topic. There's your music. Yo, Frogs, what do you think about Call of Duty Black Ops 6 coming to Game Pass day one? And it's confirmed Game Pass PC, Game Pass, and Game Pass Ultimate. Hit it away, Frogs.
So, I got three things I want to say.
3 things. Let's go. The trifecta. It's a theme of 3. Hit that like button.
Yeah, it's a triangle. So, I see a lot of people who are voicing their opinion who play on Xbox saying this is a great thing for the gamers. And I don't have problem with them saying that outside of there's a caveat to that. It's a great thing for the gamers that game on Xbox, but is it overall? And they're gonna probably say, "Why worry about it? Why do you care?" And I'm gonna get to that. It's overall travesty if it kills the sales of the game. Call of Duty is the biggest selling game every year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if this game come into Game Pass, and I think this is where we're going to see things. Either it's going to shift. This is going to make, to me at this point, this really makes or breaks that Xbox console. If Call of Duty's coming to Game Pass. If this game is not the best selling game this year, and they just don't have the sales they've had in the last Call of Duty, it's done. We're done with Xbox. You're done. Because gamers and people who game on Xbox see this as a good thing, and they're cheering and they're championing it's on. But what they're really not ultimately seeing at the end of the day is this may actually kill the sales of Call of Duty. A. That's A. B. If Microsoft does not put a sticker on every Xbox Series X and S this Christmas with 3 months of Game Pass, telling you that Call of Duty is there, day one, Game Pass. This is the only way this should help hardware sales grow. That's B. And then C, I don't think they're going to really advertise this with their hardware. They're not going to. And C, I think that Call of Duty coming to Game Pass, I think that Microsoft may do some kind of advertisement where it's for $1, Game Pass for $1, whatever. And for the first 3 months, we see them talk about the engagement of Call of Duty, and after that, it's a nothing burger. So I think this kills the sales of that franchise. I think this is a nothing burger unless they say it's really increased hardware. And also, I think this is primary where you're going to see PC players go, not the console players.
Well,
so
it's
that's kind of my
on
take on
Xbox. It's on Game Pass PC and on Xbox Ultimate. So
yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah.
I think the PC people are going to take more advantage of the console. I think console players are just going to buy the game. They don't care about the Game Pass and Call of Duty thing. Most people who play COD every year
just going to buy it.
Really don't care if it's in the service.
Yeah, because they're not going to care about 200 games that are in a subscription.
They don't care about. They're going to buy it a la carte, and that's it.
Unless they
like I said, the advertisement to this is the key to winning people over. They have to put a sticker on each Series X and S, discount that box, say Call of Duty, Black Ops 6 is here, 3 months of Game Pass for free, try it now. They have to advertise that really. It has to be really good advertising campaign to let people know, go buy an Xbox for the first 3 months, your Call of Duty is free. And they have to advertise that. If they don't advertise it and they don't know, because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, we're going to see a big switch." It's watch how fast these consoles are leaving the shelf. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, but the switch would only come from PlayStation to Xbox. It's not going to go.
Exactly.
I'm pretty in shock that they're doing it in PC Game Pass. That means that they're going to have this.
That's what shocks me.
They're going to have this on the storefront. Like, they're going to have this on that trash-ass Windows store, which Call of Duty, I think it went there once and they took it away. Remember? They refunded everybody. Call of Duty
and that shocks me, Jazz.
Yeah.
That does shock me.
Remember, they put it there and they took it away.
I'm a Call of Duty guy. I buy Call of Duty every year. I'll buy Call of Duty a la carte this year on my PlayStation 5, just like a lot of people will. And we know that it will sell the best on PlayStation 5. So I think that Microsoft's doing this. This is a last-ditch effort to really save Xbox and Game Pass before they go third party. Because they're gonna and it's like, Colin Murray already said the same thing we said. Engagement numbers count for nothing. It means nothing when you're getting studios like freaking like all their studios like Tango Gameworks and all that closed down. Who cares about engagement numbers? What you have to sell your games a la carte. A, B, you have to sell your hardware. We can look at their hardware and tell their hardware is nowhere near close to where it was even with the Xbox One. So my whole thing is, if this doesn't move systems, if you go on Best Buys and Targets or wherever you buying Xboxes and you see them sitting there, and this is not a system mover, nothing will move systems. And my thing is, they have to have the right. I don't know who advertises over there, but they need to sit down and say, hey, we need to have a sticker on each Xbox we're selling this Christmas, letting people know that there's 3 months of Game Pass in this damn box and Black Ops 6. Well, make sure we put Game Pass, but we put Black Ops 6 as big as we can on that box so people, when they feel they buy the box, they feel they're getting Black Ops 6 for free.
Yeah,
we need to know.
You're right.
We need to let
I would
people know
say, instead of bundling Call of Duty with the system, you just bundle Game Pass in there and say Game Pass is in there with Call of Duty.
3 months. Give them 3 months, and you put in there. You put on there Black Ops 6.
Day one Game Pass with
Day one Game Pass, 3 months for free. This is how you move your hardware.
They didn't even bundle Starfield with the console, so I don't even know if they even do this.
And I'm telling you, Jazz, if they don't really advertise Call of Duty on the box, and because people go in stores and they look, if they see Black Ops 6 in that box and they see 3 months of Game Pass, they'll just buy it thinking they're getting Call of Duty for free, not realizing, because people are stupid, not realizing they got to pay after 3 months, they got to pay for it. But a lot of people are going to just buy Call of Duty a la carte. And I think that Microsoft will talk about engagement numbers, which mean nothing. It means nothing.
Yeah.
They haven't learned anything. Let me tell you, their company from the end of the Xbox 360, from maybe like, I would say like 2010 to now, they've learned nothing. They keep making the same mistakes over and over. Whoever is
they're
head
betting
of marketing,
on green again, Frog. Like, this is the thing.
Yes,
like, this is another gamble. Like I said before,
yes,
I was gonna say, just like Kazuhiro said, like, about they're why are they still trying? Like, are they trying to grow Game Pass again when Phil said it's not growing anymore because we've hit everybody that we've hit? So, like, then why are you making this bet on Game Pass and to grow Game Pass when that wasn't your bet anymore? Last year you took it. They took it out of Satya's bonus. Phil says we've hit everybody. We've saturated. He just said in February that Game Pass has stalled. So this
and guess what, Jazz?
Now you're doing another bet right now. Here's
They're doing another bet.
If you shut down studios because you wanted to save a buck, a game that you know does sell and you could get your money,
why would you put it
back,
in Game Pass?
You're going to cannibalize any potential sales out on PC.
You are.
And on your console, because Steam Steam people may go get it, try it out for this, but I don't think so. They might just play it on Steam. I don't think they're going to go to a Windows Store, but it's still you got it there for $10, $13. Now that's the other point. I'll talk about it in a bit, but the fact is like where, like, if you're trying, you're canceling the studios. Like, apparently, basically, what is it? The Tango was working on 2 games. When they shut them down. So you shut down those studios to save money. You're putting your games on other platforms to make money because you're trying to get your money back for the deal. That was the whole narrative. You have a game that sells.
Yes, and you throw it in Game Pass.
And you're doing that. That's why I was just like,
and that's
crazy.
And I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem. A lot of fanboys and girls.
What's
I
your
seen
message?
I saw a lot of people on Twitter who primarily game on Xbox calling this a win, and they don't realize this is not really a win.
There are probably people that listen. The people that are saying this a win are people that probably do not play Call of Duty every year. They haven't touched it, and now it just
we won't name names, but
we
won't name names. But these are some of the same people who don't play Call of Duty year per year.
I know,
and the problem with
that's why
this
it's irrelevant what they think.
The problem is this is a franchise that I love, that I play every year, right? Make or break, it's either good or bad. Last year's Call of Duty wasn't the best.
I didn't buy. I did not buy last year's Call of Duty.
I purchased it and I stopped playing it after the first.
What's crazy?
It was pay to win.
Is that what's crazy is that Call of Duty last year was a fraction of a game, and they charged $70 for that DLC. And now this is the one that was supposed to bring people back, saying, no, here's a full-fledged Call of Duty.
It still sold $1 billion within like the first 3 days.
I'm sure it did.
You know what I'm saying? This game's still sold. The
That's
worst
what
Call
I
of Duty
mean.
is
It
still
is
gonna sell.
Frog. That's what I mean. It is however bad Call of Duty is, it still sells. And you want people to buy your games because you're putting in. If you didn't care about selling your games, you wouldn't be putting them on a PlayStation or a Switch. Who cares about selling games? If it was all about Game Pass, then why would you put those games on other platforms? That's what I mean. Like, we're sort of regressing back to Microsoft of 2 years ago when Game Pass was everything. And then they kind of stopped that. Game Pass wasn't, it was just there. Like, they didn't make any big deals. You know, and Starfield was in Game Pass, but they weren't even advertising Starfield. And they were just like, streaming on a Samsung TV, no console required. And it was like, where was that Game Pass drive? And
right, and I
think
think
they took a step back, and now they went back all in betting on this. It's like you just hit a valley, and now you're trying to hit a peak again. And I know this is an opportunity for them because there's no other time to do. This is your last shot, and you spent $80 billion. Now we found out why
this is it.
They spent it to get this Game Pass.
If this game comes to Game Pass, right, and it does not, which I think this game is going to sell regardless, but my whole thing is, if it does not increase hardware sales, why are you doing it? Because Game Pass,
they want Game Pass growth, but that goes with what Kazakura said.
But
Game Pass
if it only grows for the first 3 months, and after a few months, Game Pass subs drop back down.
You're my number one customer.
I hate this community of people who cheer and champion Game Pass, and they don't realize that you can't consume games like this. The games like Call of Duty should never be in Game Pass.
Let me tell you something.
And you cheering and championing this, you're killing the franchise. You're killing your own ecosystem, because eventually, when you see this game and they're talking about how it's sold, people are going to attribute it to Game Pass. No, it's sold because it's sold best on PlayStation. That's
what
were
they saying a month ago? How Game Pass destroyed the games, and they would, and that's why those studios got shut down. They're like, if this was the sake of Game Pass and buying Activision caused these studios to shut down and Tango shut down because Game Pass cannibalizes sales, they were demonizing Game Pass and admitting they admitted that this thing cannibalized sales, something that was being said from a lot of people for years, and nobody believed in it until when Tango Gameworks shut down. All of a sudden, the same friggin' mouths were like, hey, I guess Game Pass is not that great for games. Buy your games. Look what happened to Tango. And that was the thing.
Remember when they went to court?
Nobody's bringing it up now. What's going to do to Call of Duty? A game that we know that sells.
Remember when they went to court? Remember when they tried to buy Activision, what the Activision president said, why he would never put it in Game
Frog,
Pass?
I got you right here, Frog. Bobby Kotick, Big Booty Bobby.
Thank you, Bobby Kotick. Let's go to Bobby.
Bobby Kotick says he wouldn't put Call of Duty on Xbox Game Pass or other services. Big Booty Bobby says right here, one of the interesting exchanges was questioned when Call of Duty and subscription service. Early on, Sony alleged that publishers, quote, hated Game Pass. But it appears leaning into that idea, true or not, may be part of the play to get this deal approved. Kodak said that he would not put a new Call of Duty on Game Pass on a subscription service, a Call of Duty on a subscription service at launch. He wouldn't even consider it. He believes the model has a negative impact on the finances of games and made a comparison to the fact
you're my number one customer
that most streaming services in the entertainment industry are losing money. Kodak said, and here's a tweet. Kodak says Activision sees no positives in business value or return in games and subscription services. And Kodak says he wouldn't take an agreement to have Call of Duty on Game Pass day and date because it's not good for the business. Yeah,
make sure you save that, because that's going to come back to bite.
Oh yeah,
Call of Duty and game. It's going to come back to bite them in the ass. It's really going to come back. It may increase Game Pass subs, but after 3 months, it's going to be a nothing burger. Those subs will go away. They will die, because Call of Duty is always a game you buy a la carte. You play. People aren't going to subscribe to Game Pass for a year just to play Call of Duty. So you're going to lose. You're going to gain a lot of subscriptions because of people who champion and cheer it on, and after 3 months, people are just going to go away. They're either going to buy it or they're just not going to be in Game Pass anymore because people don't sub the Game Pass to play a game that has a free to play mode. Keep that in mind.
Big booty.
It has a free to play freaking Warzone mode. People are not going to subscribe to play that free to play game mode. So my thing is, people will sub there, they'll beat the game, and they'll unsub after a freaking month, and it'll be a nothing burger. So the engagement, I think, will be high because people are going to jump in, play the story mode, get their fill, and they're not going to sub anymore, and they're going to leave. And what you're going to see is this may impact and hurt sales overall for this COD this year because they're not selling it a la carte. They're trying to push the Game Pass model. Now, where this will be successful is if Microsoft comes back and says this increased their console hardware sales, which I don't think it's going to do. I don't think it's going to do that. I think
you're
people.
right. Yeah, I think if they bundle it and they bring it to
they
their
have
thing, they might do it.
They have to advertise. The only way they get the only way this helps them is it helps them with hardware sales where they advertise, put that thing on the box. And you're going through Walmart, so you're going through Targets or Best Buys, wherever you see it online at Amazon, you need to be able to see a Series X and S with Black Ops 6 advertising with 3 months of Game Pass for free. It needs to be 3 months of Game Pass, Black Ops 6 advertisement on the box. If you do it like that and it helps your hardware sales, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if they get 20 million Game Pass subscribers when they only got freaking 28 million consoles sold. It doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? Because that engagement is going to go
Josh
away.
Is saying, Josh says they didn't bundle. That's what I said. They didn't bundle Starfield. He's saying they didn't bundle Starfield. Why would they bundle? But they don't have to bundle the game. They could just bundle Game Pass with their console.
They need to bundle 3 months of Game Pass because they're putting in Game Pass.
Listen,
but if they want to win, what they do is, if they really want to win, is they can keep it in Game Pass, and that's fine. But they really want to win, they have to advertise. To get
whatever your name is,
because
get ready for the big surprise.
28 million people have access to get look at how many Xbox Series.
I'm gonna spin this around, Frog. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna spin this around. Welcome, J Rock, to the Gaming Grindhouse. I'll get to these super chats in a second, but let me spin this around. So first off, here's another one. People, Big Booty Bobby said his thing. We thought that was a whole scope. Like he was like trying to make it look like, hey, if they buy us, then they'll go on Game Pass. More people to play games. So Big Booty Bobby could be, talking about that, but he would never put it in there. It's bad for business. But Microsoft themselves admitted that, hey, in their redacted document that they said that, in the short paragraph, Microsoft submitted internal analysis government body that showed a redacted % decline in base game sales 12 months following their addition to Game Pass. So that's not even talking about games day one. And people, the whole narrative a month ago was that Game Pass is not a place that you go to put games that sell. That's where you put games that you want more exposure with potential conversions.
Right.
If you know a game's going to sell, they're not going into Game Pass day one. They usually get sold, and then when the sales dry up, they go into Game Pass. Now you're putting something in here now that sells, and you're putting in a Game Pass. They're betting on it. Again, this is the final bet. This is like we say, shut the casinos. But I'm going to turn this around here because the only way this makes sense is it's not to grow Game Pass. I think that may be an added benefit to kind of grow and increase subscribers to Game Pass. I don't think this is a play. I think the way this is rolled out is leaning towards what I predict is going to happen. Because why would you just come out on a tweet and say Call of Duty and do a very brief this? I think they accidentally leaked it, and they kind of, again, Microsoft with their friggin' leaks, and told it in Game Pass without even showing the game. We haven't seen anything on the new Call of Duty, no new campaign, nothing, no zombies, no multiplayer. You show nothing. I think if this was a Game Pass, big Game Pass move, they already messed up, because I think they should have showed the game during the show, get people hyped up, making that this is the biggest, better Call of Duty, especially after last year's piece of shit. Show that this Call of Duty has a big campaign. You're going to be doing incredible things in multiplayer.
Don't they have a show this June?
I know, exactly. You just could have waited a couple more weeks.
I think that's when the game.
They
should announce it there.
Exactly. Show the game, show all this incredible stuff and all these things, and then at the end of that, go and coming day one to Game Pass. I think that would have been a better marketing hit than just doing this weak-ass Xbox Wire Call of Duty Game Pass when didn't see it there. They just kind of just put it out there. The reason why I think they did this was to try to get good faith now in the Game Pass subscribers they're going to show the game, and then I think they're going to increase the price of Game Pass after the show. Not maybe in June, but maybe a month or two after, they're going to increase the price of Game Pass Ultimate and do something like that. Because they're going to try to get money out of, because Phil said Game Pass growth has hit its max. Phil said, I got it. You got it right here.
Let's talk about Game Pass a little bit more, since that's a big bet
This
for
is the
Microsoft.
interview.
How many subscribers do we have now? And it does seem like a really good deal
because
for the
they
consumer.
got everybody
but what
they
about
can
the Microsoft
get.
investor?
That's what he
How
says.
is this a moneymaker for Microsoft?
Our last public number was 25 million subscribers that we've talked about.
We get an update?
Not right here, but we did talk about growth on PC. So our Game Pass subscription, not expecting everybody's following the video game market, is available
This is 2022.
on gaming consoles and on personal computers. And you can
Hear
subscribe
why
in both
it's
places.
static. Why
We're seeing
it's-
incredible growth on
Watch.
PC. I think Satya in our earnings, Satya Nadella,
This
in our
part.
earnings yesterday, the CEO of Microsoft talked
Why
about
it flatlined on console.
140% year-over-year growth on PC, which is really where we're focused. On console, I've seen growth slow down on Game Pass, mainly because at some point you've just reached everybody on console who wants to subscribe. And we don't see subscription, unlike some other forms of media that have really moved almost solely to a subscription business. Today, Game Pass as an overall part of our content and service revenue is probably 15%. I don't think it gets bigger than that. I think
So hearing that in 2022, how the console flatline is not growing as much because not because the lack of content. He could have easily said in 2022, the reason why we're not seeing growth is because we haven't released shit. But he didn't say that. He said because you hit everybody that you're going to hit. So he already thinks he saturated the console subscription install base on console. And now, you said that. In addition, during the Xbox podcast, what does he say? The reason why they're putting their games on other platforms is because you could either increase the price or increase the subscription with the current install base that we had. So you're putting your games to your competition to offset not having to increase the price of the people that you already have. Like the whole point of putting your games otherwhere was to get a new audience. That's what you said. It was the Xbox podcast. What did he say? He says it right here. Where is it? Boom. Phil, what did you say?
Hardware, as many players as we can.
See?
We're always looking to learn as a leadership team.
He's learning.
And to grow. And we think this is an interesting point in time for us to use what some of the other platforms have right now to help grow our franchises. So we're going to do that.
So these 4 titles, what are they? Can you say?
I'm not going to name those games. The teams that are building those games have announced plans that are not too far away. As we know, game teams put a lot of energy into their announcements with the partners. So I don't want to take anything away from those teams.
I heard this before.
Can we say if either of those titles are...
Any decision that we make,
There it
anything we're going
is.
to talk about today, is the long-term health of Xbox. That we're running a growing platform that is reaching more players, that our games are having as much success as possible. And I do have a fundamental belief that over the next 5 or 10 years, exclusive games that are exclusive to one piece of hardware, are going to be a smaller and smaller part of the game industry. And that's not some great insight, because if you look at the last 10 years and what the biggest games are today, it's a natural place.
I don't want to hear this whole
whether
shit,
it's
Phil.
one couple of the games or community-driven games, new. We think it's important that these service-based games that have communities behind them, that they can have confidence that they're going to be kind of platform exclusives and all interested in Xbox. We think there's a good brand value for Xbox there. So 4 games, no promise beyond that. So if you're on those other platforms and you see these 4 games coming, please don't take it as some signal that everything's coming.
Not on
It's
Doom,
not.
though. Oops.
And we're going to learn.
So when you are thinking about the future and this concept of live service games that can benefit from bigger audiences, new audiences, how does that apply to future titles and how you're applying that criteria there?
Yeah, there's really no fundamental change to how we think about exclusivity. We just came out of Developer Direct.
Says right here.
We make every decision really with the long-term health of Xbox in mind. And long-term health of Xbox means a growing platform, our games performing, building the best platform for creators. reaching as many players as we can. We're always looking to learn as a leadership team and
to grow and to learn. So I think he's increasing. He's still learning. He's still learning on this one. And by the way, this is not very old. This is just a couple months ago. And if you recall, just a month ago, people were deeming management as a failure when they shut down the studio. So let's not act like this is old news, because people change like shit and farts in the wind. And that's what they're at right now. Because right now it's Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. Meanwhile, Game Pass was the reason why games weren't selling, and Microsoft had to do Project Latitude. They had to put their games on other platforms. They had to shut down studios like Tango and shut down Arcane Austin. They had to shut them down because of the lack of getting their money back. And now they're taking a game that they know would sell and betting the house all in on Game Pass. And like Frog said, we're going to watch and see what happens. But the most, and I knew that this was going to happen. Now we know the $80 billion that they spent was to put Call of Duty in Game Pass because it wasn't happening. That's the reason why I read Big Booty Bobby's quote. It's because Big Booty Bobby was like, I'm never putting this shit in Game Pass. Strauss Zelnick says the same thing with GTA. We're not putting these big games in Game Pass day one because they sell and we make our money back. So now we know that in order to get these type of games in the service, Microsoft had to spend $80 billion to get these games. That is why they bought the publisher, because now they can do this. Because if they just said, we want Call of Duty exclusive, they would probably have to pay an arm and a leg, and they don't want to do that to bring Call of Duty there. Call of Duty on Game Pass, it's where it's at. And then if you look here, one of the things that I thought was interesting with this whole Call of Duty on Game Pass was that Sony, Jim Lion Crying Ryan, if you remember, Microsoft offered, where's that? I have that email there, where Microsoft offered to put Call of Duty in Sony's subscription services. Right? Boom. There you go. So basically, they would say that they would put Call of Duty in Sony's PlayStation Plus Extra, their mid-tier service, is priced at around $100. And to buy to play retail price of Call of Duty is around $70. Under Microsoft's proposed terms, SIE would therefore be required to pay blah, 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 blah to get it into their service. So that's what's redacted. So this is what they'll have to pay Microsoft to put this in their service. And as the chart shows below, this would leave Sony Entertainment with only blank full 100 annual subscription. Now, like, if the game is $70, why would we just want $100 for a subscription from people? Sony did not want to do this because they found that it wasn't lucrative to their business at all. Because the game is a seller. The game sells. Why would you subsidize it and put it in a service? It sells. You get your money back. It's $70. They buy it. Why would you put it in a service? They didn't need Microsoft to grow Call of Duty. That was the proposal. Oh, more people to play. Well, more people to play what? You put it in a service. For what? More people to play? For less money. Hey, man. Enjoy. My concern, and again, if the Call of Duty looks good this year, I'm buying it. But my concern has been my concern since day one. What the hell does Call of Duty look like? I think this year, Call of Duty may survive in the sense of the traditional one that we get, but moving forward, who the hell knows? Because they set the precedent right now. Every single Call of Duty, next year's Call of Duty, the next one, are all going to be in Game Pass. Do they look like Halo Infinite? Are they broken up? Do you get campaign day one, multiplayer a week later, zombies a month later? Do they milk that as 3 different parts of a game? Is it all there day one? All the questions that we asked prior to when Game Pass was their first party games going in there. What does Call of Duty look like in Game Pass. That's why I think if they would have shown the game in its full capacity in the showcase and then said in Game Pass, I think it would have been a better kind of acceptance pill to swallow there. But since they didn't do it, these doubts still lead up into will we see it at the showcase and see when it launches. So when you go to Liquid Data, remember for 12 months, welcome Golden Grinder. He goes, Jez, I still feel the PS5 Pro will launch with a DualSense Edge controller and their showcase will be closer to the Pro's launch. I don't think the Edge, I don't think it would launch with an Edge controller.
Whatever your name is, get ready for the big surprise.
Cruise Missile to the Gaming Grindhouse. I don't know if a DualSense Edge, I think is doing pretty well sales-wise. I don't know if they need to bundle it. And I think that would probably add to the cost of the PS5 Pro bundle. So maybe they'll keep that out. But a showcase closer to launch, I think they will have a show closer to launch of the PS5 Pro. But I don't think they need one now. They need something now. They need to kind of get people prepared, especially if you're going to do this Days of Play marketing campaign. Having something to say, hey, and this is PlayStation would be smart business if they would do something.
I was going to say, I guess the only way they, because I mean, I agree they need something now, but the only way they do something now, is if they can announce that PS5 Pro and when it's coming.
They can't announce it now, though.
Yeah, and they can't announce it now because they don't want to hurt the sales of the current PS5 because people are waiting on the PS5 Pro. So
I know.
I think if this thing comes in October sometime, they have to announce it when it's coming, and they have to announce some kind of software improvement, the games that we know are going to take advantage of it, because that's the other thing. I think that across the gaming realm, we're getting a lot of games, probably too many games, right? But on the flip side, as far as games that are first party exclusive that are for PlayStation, we're getting them. But I just think that we're not hearing things from the big studios we're used to hearing.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't want to hear about another Ghost of Tsushima. I don't want to hear about, another Spider-Man. I don't want to hear about these things because I'm kind of tired of the God of Wars and Spider-Man and Ghost of Tsushima. I need new IPs. And if it's going to take 5
Well, you need to see
years,
Concord and Fair Games because those supposedly come out this year.
Right.
What the hell is that?
I need to see your games you talked about. And it'd be nice to see some new IPs or something like, something that is substantially different. I think that one thing that PlayStation has done kind of well, where Microsoft has not, is PlayStation really hasn't talked about a lot of games, and we haven't seen them. Microsoft has talked about a lot of games, and every game they've talked about is in development hell. From freaking Evolved to freaking Perfect Dark to Fable to what's that game that Rare was making? There's just so many games that Microsoft has announced that we're knowing for a fact these games are in development hell, or they're Hellblade. They're coming out and they're 5-hour games, and it took you 7 years to make the game. And it's a 5-hour experience. And I don't think that announcing the game too early is going to help. I'd rather, like, for instance, Death Stranding. We know it's coming next year, and I'm happy they said next year, and I'm happy they announced it. But when they announced it, they kind of showed gameplay, so we know it's close. And when they say, "Hey, coming next year," I'm like, okay, I'm content. I'm content with that. They don't have to show me much more because what I saw. But I think what Microsoft has done bad with the Xbox versus, the PlayStation is they showed too many games that are development hell. We've seen nothing about Perfect Dark. We've seen nothing about. Well, we've seen Avowed, but we still don't know what.
Even what we saw in Fable. When's that even coming out?
I think a lot of their games.
But I think the thing is that Sony needs to have it. Sony needs to show what the next wave of games are.
I think they just need to show a plan. They need to show.
And I don't mean the friggin' title screen. Like, I mean, like, they kind of have to have a roadmap in the sense of like, hey, what's the second phase of this thing? What's the second phase of this thing coming? And especially if they have, like I said, if they have a new console coming, have something lined up. Now, again, they said they were not going to have any sequels to big games this year, sequels to their first-party games this year.
I hope not.
That's what they said. So no big sequels for their first-party games. So no, like, Ghost of Tsushima 2, no Spider-Man 3.
I don't want
none of that stuff. Or even Death Stranding.
To be honest with you, they can take a whole freaking couple years off of Spider-Man and come back and give me that. I don't.
I
need
still
another
think they
Spider-Man
launched. I
game.
think they launched a PS5 Pro, a black PS5 Pro with the Venom DLC. That's what I would do.
That would be cool, but I mean,
Venom
I
like
guess,
a Miles Morales, and kind of use
I mean,
Venom
I
like
guess
their Miles Morales.
if they do something like this, a smaller package. I mean, that's not bad. I guess
The
my
black
big
console,
thing is
the Venom movie coming out, and the Venom
it'd be
the black
cool.
console with the Venom DLC. Done.
It would be cool to get a roadmap. You know, we know
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto supposedly is coming next year. We know that Death Stranding 2 is coming next year. From what we heard, Wolverines. It seems like next year going to be a big year for gaming. But I think everybody's trying to move out the way.
Forget about GTA.
Everybody's trying to get out of GTA's freaking way.
And now
Nobody wants to be in their way. I think that's cool.
Astro 2.
I hope
Cosmo says
GTA
Astro 2.
comes out when it says it's going to come out. Who knows? But
We'll
we
see.
do know it. We do know it takes a while to develop these games. I just think that with the Xbox, they've announced way too many games too early.
Well, that was their thing. And like somebody said earlier in the chat, like either way,
Jazz, when we see the games, like when we saw Valve the first time, I was like, oh, okay.
Well,
then
shit,
when
they
we
still got
finally
that game
saw
coming.
the
Yeah,
game,
Valve.
it looked bad. It looked bad. And I think, look, everybody that's on Xbox gets mad to hear this.
I agree. Shaggy, bro.
Microsoft's their biggest freaking L this generation was the Series S, because now you're making games you have to scale for this weak piece of crap and the premium console. They should have did one box, stuck with it. You trying to throw out the $299 box, and then that actually is the one that's selling the best, and it's a piece of crap. That's the biggest mistake. Like, who thinks to say, hey, let's do a freaking Xbox Series S, rename it Series S, put a sticker on it, and, say it can do freaking this, and that, and it can't do. And Microsoft, that's Microsoft's biggest L. Their biggest L is creating two console SKUs of power. They should have never did that, because by them doing that, they threw shit against the wall to see if it was going to stick. And guess what?
Well, they just keep making
it backfired.
Dude, they just keep making
They make bad decisions. They're a software company, and what's crazy is Microsoft is a software company that's not excelling in software. How are you a software company and you're not excelling in software? Your software, you are a software company. You figure like, oh man, they should be good. They're buying up this company, this company. They don't know what the hell is going on. And then they're talking about buying Steam. Come on, man. You're ruining gaming. They're ruining gaming.
Yeah.
This is why I
don't think they're buying
despise
Steam.
I don't think they are either, but this is why I despise the Xbox freaking people who aren't really gaming. They're caring about Xbox, and they don't realize you're killing a hobby. You're killing a hobby that people love, because this subscription service does not work. We know it doesn't work. We know subscription services don't make money. That's A. B, like the Xbox of the 360 years is done. That's never coming back. They're never giving you titles like they had with the what they did with the 360 era, because they were hungry. They were going after anything they could find, any new experience.
Right. You're right in the sense that they want it all to burn for the sake of Xbox to look good. And that's why I said when Microsoft kept buying all these these things, everybody's like, do it, buy them all, buy everybody.
Yes,
what are the results of that? And they didn't.
You can't tell me.
They don't care.
And you can't
just
tell
to get
me
a
nobody
Twitter kind of dub. Oh, this is a W. It's like, okay, good. Now go get your lotion. You're done. Get your lotion.
I don't even argue with anybody, because
Tango
nobody
says
can
it's
sit
a
here and
W
tell
too.
me.
Tango, I'm sure, is like it's a W.
Nobody can sit here and tell me when they got an Xbox One, from Xbox One until now, it's all about Microsoft. It's all Windows stuff now. It looks like a freaking Windows PC. From the Xbox One until now, everything looks like Microsoft
that's what they're
Windows
turning
products.
it into. And let me get Kazuhiro
And that's
with
the problem. That's the problem. When you got an Xbox 360, it didn't feel like a Microsoft Windows product. It felt unique.
Satya took over.
Nothing they make now feels unique. It all feels like it's a Microsoft product. It doesn't feel like it's a different division from Microsoft. That's what made 360 so unique. That's why people gravitated, even at its high failure rate of consoles, people gravitated to the 360 because it didn't feel like a Microsoft product. It felt so unique.
But Frog,
it
now they're
felt
talking
like
about a
Microsoft was
hybrid.
really.
They're talking about a hybrid.
It felt like
they want a
Microsoft really
hybrid.
let their game division do what they needed.
Windows.
It felt like Microsoft really let their game division do what they need to do to be successful.
I'd say
now
using-
it feels like it feels like it's a whole bunch of suits controlling the game industry over there.
But look what they
and it's not healthy.
But Frogs, look at what they want. A combo device. I use these little devices, these handheld portables. The weakest link of all of it is the Windows operating system. It does not work well on a small screen. That's the problem with these little devices.
It doesn't.
Windows is the problem. So now you want to get a Windows Xbox. That's the problem, because Microsoft does not make their operating system friendly to the device that it's on. They just slap the same operating system on a 7-inch screen, on a 40-inch screen, on a 16-inch screen, on a laptop, on a desktop. It's the same operating system. You boot up your Legion Go, and it's telling you to join teams and download Office 365 trials. I'm like, this is a gaming portable machine. What are you doing?
I'm kind of in the mind frame, Jez, that I'm kind of in the mind frame. Like when I just see people on Twitter nowadays and they start talking about Xbox, what's a win, I just mute and I just keep going because I mute them. I'm gonna tell you why I mute and keep going, because I get so sick and tired of seeing the same clowns sit there and talk about it's coming back. And I'm like, come on, man. Like this, you are a proponent of the reason why they're doing bad.
I feel bad.
They won't call them out.
I know.
Out. There's and as Link says, this is a sickness in the gaming community for these cronies that sit there and cheer and champion on this stuff. They're killing your hobby, but you're championing on them killing your hobby.
And I can do the frustration that Frogs has, because we play Call of Duty.
It just doesn't make any sense.
He plays
anymore,
Call of Duty every year with the crew. We play every year, and Frogs
every year.
And this is the thing, because this hits home, because this is the franchise that Frogs plays all the time. And when he sees people just buy it and now throw it into Game Pass, the uncertainty of what Call of Duty will become in this thing is not good for somebody who's a fan of the franchise. I felt that way with Halo. Frog feels that way with Call of Duty. I play Call of Duty a lot, but I'm not I play it, but I lost a lot of kind of attraction to Call of Duty over the few years, but I still play it. It's fun and it is what it is. But Halo was my thing, and to see what Game Pass and the management did to Halo, I could see now they're shitting in Frog's cereal now with Call of Duty. And I think the fact is that we haven't seen this Call of Duty yet to know how this is going to be affected. I think this one may survive because this one was probably already in development. It's going to be what the next Call of Duties are and how they deliver it. Like, that's why I think it would have been better effect for Game Pass if this Game Pass was the big announcement, to show the game in that direct after the show, and then at the end when people are all hyped going, wow, this is Call of Duty back to the roots, back to what it should be. It looks awesome, and then they slap a Game Pass on it.
This is sad, man.
I think that would have been a better approach if Game Pass growth was the point. But like exactly what what Cosmic Hero said.
This is sad.
Like, is it Game Pass growth or what is it? And I think it's going to increase the price of Game Pass Ultimate, and they're going to drop that around September time, and it's going to increase the price. And I think that's going to because they got it. I said if they're never going to, this is the time you increase the price. It's Call of Duty and Game Pass. There's no other time. You're not going to increase the price with a Valve launch. Nope. You're not going to increase the price with Indiana Jones.
I agree.
Call of Duty in Game Pass is a price increase. That's the time you strike. That's when you're going to say, "Hey, we want another $10 for Game Pass, or another $5."
Yeah. At this point, I think Game Pass.
That's what you do.
If you're including Call of Duty,
you got to increase.
It's going to eventually be $25.
And if it's not a growth play, like what Phil said, we could get more money out of the people we currently have. They're not. This is not to grow Game Pass. They already tried that with dollar deals. If you couldn't get people on for $1, you're not going to get people paying $17 to play one game that they would buy for $70 to say, "Hey, I'm going to pay $200 for the year."
Jez is beyond it. If
to
you
pay
can't
for
get
200 games that I really don't care about. You think they care about Pal Worlds and Game Pass when they just want Call of Duty?
If you cannot get people on with these games you say are big AAA games, you can't get people at all.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Like, you're not going to grow.
Like,
you throwing Call of Duty and Game Pass isn't going to help the growth of Game Pass.
On top of that, you do Call of Duty, it comes out every single time in November. If you subscribe and play Game Pass, you're going to pay for a whole year until the next Call of Duty comes out. So you really
I spent $180 for Call of Duty.
For Call of Duty, you're not going to.
I spent $180 for Call of Duty.
Yeah,
that's why I said
you just pay $70 and you own it. That's like that makes sense.
This is shit sticking against the wall. and they can't look. Microsoft has put if they're one.
But Frog, the only way they get away
Microsoft-
with that, Frog, is if they trickle the shit out. If they,
Yes.
like I said, like zombies comes out and
but they can't, and I'm gonna tell you why.
I know
because
We
Microsoft
don't-
has
hope
put
not.
themselves in.
Well, they split
Microsoft has
Halo,
put themselves in a position, right? Microsoft has put themselves in a position. They're a liar, right? They're a liar. They lied so much they have to keep the lie up. So they have to keep doing stuff that's gonna make it worse. And it's not going to get better. So no matter what they do, the lie they're just telling you more lies upon
That's
the
what
lie.
I mean.
So
Like,
they're
Game
keeping
Pass not growing, but we're putting this in there.
Look, let me tell you, they're keeping the lie up, and the reason they have to keep that lie up because they already told you the lie. You like looked at the lie, now you believed it. So if they don't keep lying, now you know what they've done. So now every Call of Duty going forward will have to be in Game Pass, no matter if it hurts to sell or not.
And no one else.
People
Frog,
will know this.
Another thing they didn't
So
do.
this is the demise. So this is the demise of this game, and you're going to see it slowly but surely.
And
You're
I'm
going to see the game is not going to sell.
Yeah, I'm going to hit you with something else. This is something else that I think is really strange. They didn't even warm people up to the idea of Call of Duty and Game Pass by putting the older games in there. Like, they could have easily, all throughout the year, they could have been like in the first quarter, put like a Black Ops 1 in Game Pass, then Black Ops 2. Like, they could have just used Black Ops for this year, not the other Call of Duties. But they didn't even kind of move that around, which shows that I feel that this move is another shit against the wall. This is our last big bet.
Thank you. It's shit thrown
take
against the wall. That's
the rest
all it
of our
is.
money that we got from Grandma and put it on red and roll the roulette wheel. That's what I
Yes,
feel like
it
this is,
lands.
because if this was the way that you were going to approach this, I would have had Black Ops 1 Game Pass in January, Black Ops 2 February, Black Ops 3, like you lead up to Call of Duty and Game Pass. Instead, the thing that you lead with is the brand new Call of Duty and Game Pass. It's going to really take away the like, oh, well, Black Ops 2's in Game Pass. Now it's like, wait, we're getting Black Ops 6. I don't give a who cares about Black Ops 2. It would have been smart to roll this in to kind of warm people up to Game Pass, get people hyped up. And that's another way to get people subscribing to Game Pass throughout the year in preparation for this. Whether they start it now in June, it's half the year's over. Call of Duty comes out 3 months later. I don't think throwing all the Call of Duty games in Game Pass is going to do anything, but it's just I don't get it. And what's crazy is it's backwards compatible. All they need to do is put it in Game Pass. It's backwards compatible already. Like, I don't understand. Those games
This is going to show a lot of people. And like I said, said Starfield.
John Wayne, the servers are terrible. People were playing on the servers in December. All the old Call of Duties after the Activision deal. Don't you remember? All the Call of Duties shot up in gameplay. All the old servers and stuff. Microsoft went back and retooled.
They
retooled all the servers in December.
We said Starfield was going to make a break. Xbox,
dude,
Game
they've
Pass.
been broken.
Guess what?
And all that shit.
Let me tell you. If this doesn't, this is the sign to come. Depending on what happens with this game and how it's received and how they talk about engagement numbers, and if they don't talk about sales and they talk about engagement numbers, best be prepared that Call of Duty will sell worse and worse each year. Because something else will come along.
I think we're going to see that, Frog. I think we're going to see Call of Duty is going to be high for the first
it's going to be high.
But I think it's going to drop off faster in the 5s and stuff in January and February, where typically we see Call of Duty sitting in the 1s until like throughout the whole year. I think Call of Duty is definitely
you'll see it as the best-selling game on PlayStation. You won't ever see it in the best-selling position as the year goes on Xbox, because it's in Game Pass. And like I said, people will Game Pass it, play the story, and play a little bit of multiplayer.
We already have an example of this.
They will stop subscribing to Game Pass, because guess what? What part of Call of Duty is played the most? The Warzone free-to-play mode. People don't care about. That's what I'm saying.
You got your outside of Game Pass fix. You're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So people are going to play the story, and they're going to be like, it did so well in Game Pass to raise numbers.
People are asking the question, does this even have a story? I'm assuming it does. The other Black Ops
I'm assuming it does.
This is the problem that you have by talking. You label it Game Pass, and now people are going to look at it when you do this direct. That's why I think the rollout of this was not very smart from marketing. I would have I've been teasing. I would have been putting Black Ops in Game Pass throughout the year, and then lead up to this Black Ops. Because why? And first off, if this was the thing, why would you redact it a few weeks ago? Oh, redacted.
Right.
when you're just gonna just show this now? Like, it makes no sense. But Frog, just the way you're saying about the thing, we have an example of this, and I know it's not as big as Call of Duty, but it's pretty big with MLB The Show, where that has been in Game Pass for the last 4 years. And have you seen this migration of that was a Sony exclusive game?
Nope.
Have you seen this migration of PlayStation gamers to the Xbox for Game Pass to subscribe to play MLB The Show?
Not at all.
No. Have you
It
seen
doesn't move the needle.
You've seen sales dip? Actually, it's crazy.
Yes.
The game still sells on PlayStation, but it doesn't. It's the MLB The Show, but you
nobody
haven't seen
talks
that
about it on
migration.
Xbox anymore.
That's why I said
It's
this
one of those
doesn't
things
seem to be a growth play.
It's one of those things that people are excited about it, like, oh, look what's, and like nobody's talking about it anymore.
It doesn't seem
because
to
it
be a
doesn't
growth
matter.
play. Like,
It's an afterthought.
They're not trying
we
to
know
pull
where
people
the
away.
game is. We know where the game is primarily being played at. Nobody's talking about it being played
That's
on
why I
Switch
think
or
this Call
on
of
Game
Duty
Pass.
thing is not a way of getting people to stop playing on a platform and move to other, because that's what the internet will have you believe. It's like, this is a W now, this is going to move people to Game Pass. This is a turning point. But we've seen that this has happened before, and people are just going to buy the game where they play it, and that's where it is. That's why I don't feel like this is a growth play. This is going to be a way for them to increase the price of the people that they have already, because Phil's not going to get no 20 million subscribers for this game. Like, he's going to say, hey, we got 35. Let's get more money out of those 35 subscribers by having them say, hey, you like Call of Duty? You want to play it? Well, the price is going up. And that's why also, too, I think it's why they announced they're coming to Game Pass now, because they could get people to subscribe now so that there's not a lot of pushback when they increase the price later this year, because they kind of got people aware that this is coming. They didn't say, hey, Call of Duty's coming to Game Pass and we're increasing the price. That will be kind of mixed messaging. If I tell you it's coming to Game Pass months before, you go, yay, I'm signing up for Game Pass. You sign up, and then I increase the price. Maybe now you're like, hey, at least I got in before they increased it. So it's a kind of like a way of softening the blow for when they increase the price. And they'll try to maximize those last-minute shoppers where they're going to say, whoa, I'm going to subscribe to Game Pass to play Call of Duty. Those are the people that are probably going to pay the increased price on day one. But everybody else, knowing this, will have been in the gate. So you won't get a lot of pushback from the traditional Game Pass subscribers. You'll get that pushback from, you'll get those suckers that waited to the last minute to say, well, I'm going to play this on Game Pass. Those are the ones that'll pay $22 a month. The other people got in early because they were aware that it was coming to Game Pass. So I think this is a play to increase the price of what it is. But again, I said they were screwed either way. They put it in Game Pass. Now they got to deal with this bet of trying to get some money back and making sure that, and again, the game sells mostly on PC and PlayStation. The PC also Game Pass. Who the hell knows? But PlayStation is where a lot of Call of Duty sells. So they're going to make the money on that thing. Maybe Call of Duty wasn't the huge seller that it used to be on Xbox, because a lot of those people moved over to PlayStation for the last since the PS4. So maybe they're willing to say, hey, let's bet on this. Let's put it in Game Pass. Let's see what we get. Let's increase the price. Let's get more from the pool that we got. And now we'll do it. If they didn't put it in, and this is the other case, if they didn't put this game in Game Pass, that would have been a PR nightmare. That would have been torches out, Phil headquarters burnt down to the ground. That would have been a nightmare. If this Call of Duty was not going into Game Pass, that would be the end of it. So they had to do this. I didn't think there was going to be any other way. There was no way that this was. I thought what they were going to do is maybe soften the blow of not putting this in Game Pass and use the old games. But they had to do this. I do agree with you. They had to.
I agree with you. I don't think they had to do this. I think
it would be a PR nightmare, Frog. It would be a nightmare if this
from the aspect of seeing them close down studios. They did this to try to soften the blow to make it seem like it's a win. But at the overall arch of everything, this is going to hurt the game, and it's going to hurt the industry.
Well, we got to wait to see on that. Yeah,
because what I believe is everybody cheering the champion and so on want people who buy Call of Duty every year. These are people who are cheering the champion on Game Pass and Xbox. I want to say their names so bad.
They're cheering it because they don't have to buy the game, Frog. And I know that irks you.
The reason I won't say their names is because these fuck boys out here.
I know.
They're destroying gaming. They don't.
Frog. You don't like this shit.
No. It pisses me off because they don't care about gaming. They don't care about gaming. They care about fucking console warring.
Yep.
That's the problem. It's like when Microsoft bought Bethesda, I fucking love Fallout games. I love Elder Scrolls games. I was like, they're gonna kill these fucking franchises, you know? And we can just look and see like where people are playing these games at.
6 years ago when they were saying all their first party games are going to Game Pass. We're like, I remember arguing on playing Xbox about what Halo's going to look like. They're like, Halo's a service game.
And we called it.
Yo, I was like, Halo's going to turn into shit because of this. They're like, no, what are you talking about? It's a service game. I'm like, no, it's Halo's going to be neutered. And look what happened.
Dude, they destroyed Halo.
We were sitting there on the show saying this stuff, going, what does these games look like in Game Pass?
Dude, we keep saying this stuff. We keep calling this stuff.
And it happened.
But you got fucked fanboys that want to sit there and cheer on bullshit and collect fucking statues and not fucking play games. I fucking hate people like that. You get out of the gaming industry and just go be a journalist. Don't be a journalist because you don't fucking play games.
Those are bad too, those journalists. They're clowns.
And that pisses me off because the hobby that I love, your freaking company that you fucking suck off is killing it.
Yeah.
They're killing the hobby I love.
They were firing Phil a couple of weeks ago that he doesn't know how to manage people. And now it's like a W and Aaron Greenberg comes out of the woodwork.
Oh my God, man. These
I told you.
Man.
And that's why Phil, all he has to do is give them a whiff. He gives them a little whiff.
I swear,
and
man.
Crawling back
you know
up
what they
his
need
ass.
to do? They need to go over there and work for Diddy and Bad Boy.
What do you think they're going to do? Phil Spencer, I'm telling you right now, FanFest, if I was going Frog, we were invited to FanFest, by the way. We got invites. Take that. We could see him face up. We could see Phil Spencer. Believe me, he's going to be at that showcase.
He's going to fucking lie to you again.
Frog, he's going to have the showcase. He's going to have the Call of Duty shirt on. He's going to be the Call of Duty shirt. He's going to have all those Xbox FanFest people at his feet screaming his name.
How many years can Phil Spencer keep lying to people and they believe it?
They'll be
He's been lying.
He's going to wear.
He's been lying and lying.
Call of Duty shirt.
Why do people keep? Dude, this dude is a liar.
This is Phil's
He's a liar.
FanFest. This is Phil's FanFest entrance. This is where you're going to go there, man.
Oh,
and they're going to be bowing at Phil's feet, going, Phil, Call of Duty and Game Pass, Lord Dominus Phil. Screaming his name, and he's gonna be wearing. I'm telling you, he's gonna wear it in all his interviews. He's gonna be wearing his Call of Duty shirt. He's gonna wear a Call of Duty shirt. He's gonna be sitting at FanFest. Oh man, that's exactly what he's gonna be doing.
These people, man,
he's gonna milk the shit
it.
out of this thing. This
is bigger. This is bigger than just Xbox. This is killing gaming in a sense. Like you can't champion and cheer on bullshit.
We can't go to FanFest, Frog. We can't go. They said it's a ruse. They said it's a trick. They're gonna have the
guess what?
The guy in the back seat waiting for us.
Guess what, Jazz? Just like they champion and cheer on those acquisitions, I think some people are starting to realize now,
You're
like
my
this
number
is a
one
good
customer.
thing. Like it's hurting gaming.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
well,
I think people
we just
are starting to realize it.
We just seen it.
And my whole thing is like, at what point do you realize like it might not be a good idea for all this acquisition shit type stuff to happen because they're going third party anyway. My belief is they're still going third party. They're just trying to do a slow burn to third party, and they're trying to get people to be like, oh, it's no big deal. It's still the Xbox I love. No, it's not. It never will be the Xbox it used to be.
I know, Phil. We know that we can't go, man. Yo, welcome, Dragon Sword.
Fucking liar, man. Like, keep believing it. How many times can somebody lie to you?
Hey, man.
And you just keep letting them get over on you?
Yeah. Anyway, the grind fellas. It would be the grind fellas. That's right. Yo, let me get these guys.
We're the grind fellas.
We can't go to FanFest. We've been invited. I got a +1 to FanFest to go see Phil face to face. People want to say it. Cosmic Hero 270 to 10. He goes, They didn't mark Starfield for shit. This will blow up in their faces so badly it will just be straight sad and funny. Hope they're ready for the backlash because something tells me they won't be. Nope. Cosmic Chin. They're gonna take it on the chin and they're still learning. Kali Yoga with the 5. He goes, Is Call of Duty really gonna increase subs? I don't think so, in my opinion. I think there may be a little bump, but I think it's going to be just like a bump or so and maybe last a little longer because this is the other thing I was thinking of. Now I'm going to go. Let me read these other super chats and I'll get back to Kali. Kiri, member for 2 months. He says the Series X is the problem. The Series S is the popular one. Then he says the Game Night 123 with the 5. He goes, how much of a price increase do you think Game Pass will rise by? Game Pass Ultimate is $16.99 per month, so maybe $20 per month. Let's see. Well, I'll ask Frogs and we'll get right back to Kali's thing, but let me answer that one. I think it goes up to maybe $21.99 a month. I was even thinking maybe $22. Like, I don't think they go as high as $24.99 a month. I think 20 is too small, going from 17
That's funny
to 20.
you said that, man.
I think it goes over 20.
I was thinking $22.99.
See it?
It would be perfect price point. Yeah,
I think
because
so.
I think it's good. I think that's the other thing. Game Pass does increase, and this is the blow to soften it. Well, Call of Duty's in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Game Pass, So I can see Game Pass increasing by at least $6.
Yeah, I think $19.99 is not enough. I think it's 22
No, it's not enough.
or 21. Yeah,
They
not
don't make
25.
money.
They got to
You
stay
know
under
what?
that.
Look, I hate talking about some of the same people, David Jaffe and all these. They don't make money on this subscription fee.
Game Pass
To
$30. Oh shit, no way.
Like they don't make money. If they needed to make money, what they need to charge for Game Pass to make money, people wouldn't want Game Pass. They would be just like, oh shit, I was buying my game out of cart.
I actually had the tweet
For it to be successful. That's what I'm saying.
Hold on, I have a tweet from what's his name?
It just drives me nuts that these clowns don't want gaming to move forward. They want to champion on bullshit.
Yeah. Brad Sams, he just said his rough estimates. Again, this is not official, but I'm just saying he started a little planting it. He's a Windows, from Windows over Paul Thurrott's thing. He goes, rough math suggests that Xbox needs plus an added 2.5 million subs for this to make sense. Optimally around 4.7 to 5 million. And in a perfect world, 11 million to fully recover the potential loss in sales of the first month.
Yep.
These are the numbers that are based on info pulled from the FTC versus Microsoft Activision earnings.
Yep.
So that's what he was estimating there. So, yeah, because remember, a lot of the conversation, I picked up Big Booty Bobby's quote, but a lot of the conversation was, how much will this be? Because Microsoft was sort of like, if you remember, Microsoft was like, why would we put it in, why would we lose money? I remember Microsoft even playing that stupid shit where they're like, well, this game sells. Why would we lose money in certain things? They were going back and forth, whatever to appease the regulatory. But this is what he estimates. These numbers are based on the info that they pulled from the FTC, because a lot of it was shared during there about putting this stuff in Game Pass. And like I said, they even offered it for Sony, and Sony's like, no way. Like, we wouldn't even get enough money back, and we wouldn't pay this much. Sony basically said no to the deal because Microsoft was willing to put it out there. And this kind of goes along the lines to what Frogs has been saying and very upset about, is the sense is that even from last year, the way Microsoft threw around Call of Duty like a raggedy just piece of shit doll, just throwing it in the streets, the way they treated Call of Duty, like, I'll put it everywhere. It's going to a Switch, like that Brad Smith or whatever, that clown going out there. They're like, oh, well, let us compete. We're going to be out here. Just put it on a Switch. Give it to NVIDIA. Like, the way they hoard it out as Call of Duty, it just shows they never talked to the studios making the game. They don't care about the game. And that translates into the fans not even caring about what the game is going to be, as long as they call it a W. But the problem is that they do not respect what the game is. And they did this to Halo. They neutered the shit out of Master Chief, and then they stripped him down to his skivvies and threw katana in his ass crack. That's what they did to the Halo. They did not care about that shit.
Ridiculous.
And now with Call of Duty, they threw it around. They were giving everybody booty, clouds and all this shit. They hoard the shit out of Call of Duty last year for the streets. That's right, Weezid. They threw it in the streets. They didn't care. They said it's going on in Nintendo. They didn't even ask Infinity Ward or even any of these studios, hey, guys, you ready to make a Nintendo Switch game? Big Booty Bobby said it. Microsoft never consulted them. They were making these deals without even knowing what it takes just to get through the FTC and all the regulatory. They didn't give a shit. And now them putting this game in Game Pass, I think kind of goes like, hey, they're going to use this game as leverage to whatever they can do. Trust in Activision to develop it like they trusted Arcane to make Redfall. And we'll see where it goes. And, I just think that it just shows that Microsoft, just like what Steve Jobs said, they're soulless. We just went over the review of Hellblade 2, dude. Look what they did to Hellblade 2.
Soulless.
A soulless game. They made it less than the first. How do you do that with all the money in the world? and buying a company for $18, vacation photos galore. Still, the art of the game and the content and quality of the game is not at the top level
at all
of their games. It's about production and just getting shit in their service to satisfy something, and then to learn later, take it in on the chin. And that's the unfortunate thing. Microsoft has shown they just let these games go to die. And look, did they embrace? And people will act like this is old news. Did they embrace Hi-Fi Rush, that franchise? He said he was putting it on other platforms to make a potential sequel.
Look,
they said, here's our sequel, Phil. And he says, goodbye, pack your bags, you're done. We don't need you anymore. Did they embrace that franchise? Did they grow it? Did they nurture it? Did they say this is something that we can hang our hats on and move forward as a positive from the acquisition? No. They shut it down. You're done. Hi-Fi Rush, you never existed. Hi-Fi Rush 2. Thanks for we appreciate it. They even announced it for the Switch. Nobody even knows if it's going to the Switch. The studio's gone. They shut the doors. It's ridiculous that they did this thing. So, just to coming back to Kiri's thing here, is it an increased subs? I don't think so. One of the things I wanted to kind of just talk on this thing is that, the difference between Starfield, and this also goes with Cosmics, Super Chat as well, which I appreciate. One of the things that this is different is that when you buy Starfield, it was a one and done kind of game, on the sense, right? You just basically play the game. If you want to stick around and play it, it is what it is. But like what Frank said, the main thing with Call of Duty, you're not buying it for the campaign. You're buying it for the multiplayer, which is going to last months, supposedly, right? Though that is another factor. You could jump on the Game Pass, play Starfield, jump off, right? Call of Duty, you jump on, you either going to buy the game or you're going to just not be interested in the multiplayer anymore. But the multiplayer is the thing that when you buy Call of Duty, it's one of those games that you're going to be playing for the next few months, which adds to, I got to subscribe now for the next few months. Now, whether they make that worth your while, if they increase the price, it is definitely going to be something different in the calculations. And the way they rolled it out now, I think it puts them in a position to increase the price without crazy pushback if they would have announced the game and increased the price. So it's definitely interesting, but this is what Sam said about the increasing this stuff, which, again, if it was a growth play, those are the numbers. 2.5 million subs makes sense, plus 2.5 million. Optimally around 4.7 to 5. And in a perfect world, 11 to fully recover the loss of sales in the first month. Not entirely, in the first month. And those were the numbers that were pulled from the FTC. That's what he wrote. So, do they expect that type of growth when they said Game Pass has flatlined because we saturated everybody we could? Dude, if you wouldn't jump on Game Pass for $1, Frank, guys, you could do Game Pass $60 for 1 year of Xbox Live and add $1 and turn that into the $16, $15 a month Game Pass. Basically, them losing, you pay $60, you upgraded for $1 on a service that would have cost you probably $200 and something a year, and Microsoft basically lost $160 on you. Because now, instead of paying a year of Game Pass, you just paid $61 for a year of Game Pass. And guess what? You could do that 3 times. You could stack for 3 years. So you could buy 3 $60 1-year Xbox Lives and upgrade for $1. $181 when you supposedly owe them friggin' $500. So they lost a whole bunch of stuff to get growth on Game Pass. You think they're going to hit these numbers with Call of Duty, that all of a sudden these subscribers are going to stay and increase? I don't know. That's why I think it's more of a play to increase the price of Game Pass. Because if you increase the price, then you don't need as many sub growth. But if you keep the price where it is, then you're going to need that kind of sub growth, according to his calculations. Who the hell knows? And who the hell knows what the game is going to be? That's the issue. Like, I want to see what it is. And again, yeah, right, what Sayo saying, Game Pass grew 1% last year. They expect 11 million. Dude, they're not. Everything, listen, Sayo, just to add to your point, everything in their financials is down year over year. The only thing up is what Activision is bringing in. Their whole business is in the negative or flat. That's hardware, that's software and services, that is content. All their shit is negligible. It's negative or zero. The only thing that's making them show growth is because they had no Activision last year and they have Activision this year. So it's like, you're not even comparing the same numbers. That's why they're up 40%, because they're only showing what Activision is bringing in. Next year, let's see. If it's the same numbers, you would do 40 this year and 80% next year. That don't make any sense. I think it's going to be 40 this year and probably next year be 45. Now you get a 5% growth because now you're comparing apples to apples. Last year, they had no Activision. So you're comparing without and with. So the growth is only just saying we spent $80 billion and added a whole other publisher under our arm. That's where the growth is. Without that, it would be negative, a zero. So, and the way the console's selling, they basically abandoned their console. The shit's not selling. Frog's right. They got to bundle this thing. They got to put their shit bundled and screen, but they never even did that with Starfield. So I think the play here is maybe they'll get some growth. I don't think it's there to move consoles because, again, they have shown no interest in moving consoles at all. But I think the main play is to use this as a way to increase the price of Game Pass. And I think that's the end game. That's what they want to do. We got the 35 million. Let's squeeze more out of this lemon. And the only way you're going to squeeze it is with the biggest franchise ever, $80 billion, Call of Duty. You're not going to increase the price with Perfect Dark. You're not increasing the price with Avowed. You're not increasing the price with Fable. You increase the price of Call of Duty. And that's, I think, the play. And I'm sure they'll get growth. I'm sure they will get some growth, but it's not going to be, it may not be sustainable growth. But that's where I think that this play is with the Call of Duty. But again, they had to do this. Like, I think it would have been it would have been worse than End of Days, if they didn't put Call of Duty in Game Pass. I just think the way they're going about it, the perfect help, exactly, Weezer. I just think the way they're going about this is silly. Like, it just, there's no intelligence. It seems like they send some crazy ass emails and they say, you know, look what I can do. Look what I can do. Look what I can do. Remember that? Well, stew it. Look what I can do. Look what I can do. Phil, what are you going to do now? Look what I can do. Call of Duty, Game Pass. Look what I can do. It's like, Phil, look what I can do. No. Trust me. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, I really, like, I just think they had to put it in Game Pass. They had to. If they didn't, but again, like I said, they should have rolled out Call of Duty. And they didn't even start with the legacy games to kind of warm people up to Call of Duty and Game Pass. They just like drop this in there. So weird. And again, and guess what? Diablo, they announced during that February show, but they never said this year's Call of Duty or all the Call of Duties moving forward. They never even said that. It's so, like, it's just so... Their management sucks, man. Their management, their marketing, they failed on Hellblade.
Oh no! We suck again!
They're just so bad. They're still learning. It's just so bad. And my question is what does Call of Duty look like? But I do think that this year they may...
I want my best.
Dude, I wanted to show this. This is Phil, like, in Satya right here. He's trying to make some deals, right? Where is he? It's Phil. It's Phil.
I want my bacon. I gotta tell you something. Bacon is good for me. I'm coming to the edge. No, I want my bacon. I gotta tell you something. I want my bacon. I gotta tell you.
This is not the song. He's like, keep making the deals and I can't make deals. What is he saying? I keep losing the deals and I'm not making deals anymore. Where is he? That's not the one. Where is it? I keep losing at deals. This is Phil leaving the casinos. He goes, I keep losing the deals and I'm not making them anymore. Oh, what does he say? I'm not making any more deals. I keep losing at them. Is this the what? This is it.
We can do it. I don't like this crap.
Definitely no cheese in the can. Very happy to be throwing this away.
Bacon? No, I want my bacon. I gotta tell you something. Bacon is good for me. I'm coming to the end.
No, I want the song. This stupid ass shit. I hate people that mean, just make the play. Just play the normal video, dude. He's like, I keep losing at deals. I don't want to make them anymore. I gotta get that meme. I gotta get that meme. I keep losing at deals and I don't want to make them anymore. I don't want the song though. I don't want the freaking song. Is this not the song?
I need you guys to help me.
Bacon is good for me.
Where is it?
She thinks out of the blue she's a smart little girl that she can do whatever she wants.
Here goes Phil.
No, that's not how she can do it in our family. She's act like she's the queen and we're the sorry people.
Here goes Phil. Oh, there he is. Phil's pissed at Satya.
Joy,
I'm not making deals.
I have been nice to you, but now I'm coming to the edge.
I promise you one thing, okay? If you do not have at least one food that you like, I will buy you a piece of junk. Is that a deal?
No, I keep losing at deals, and I don't want to make a deal anymore. I am leaving, and you can't stop me.
There it is. I'm going to get that clip. That's Phil. There it is. I keep losing at deals.
Losing at deals, and I don't want to make a deal anymore.
Damn. I keep losing at deals. I'm gonna
You're
put
my
Call of
number
Duty.
one customer.
I'm putting Call of Duty in Game Pass.
And I don't want to make a deal anymore. I am leaving, and you can't stop me. I'm packing my bags.
I keep losing at deals. He's an award winner, though. He's an award winner. I keep losing at deals, and I don't want to make them anymore. Oh, shit. Man, that's Satya. I think maybe it'll be Satya. Satya's like, Phil, I keep losing at deals. I won't make them anymore. But Phil won this one. Oh, shit. I think Phil won this one. Because Phil, remember that interview, man? He's packing his bags. He's packing his bags.
Keep losing at deals, and I don't want to make a deal anymore. I am leaving, and you can't stop me. I'm packing my bags. I had a very, very calm day until this. A bump in the road comes, and she's being sarcastic.
Curtis.
I won't be coming back until Saturday when you leave.
That was the recorded tapes from inside Satya's meeting with Phil. Phil threatened to leave. He's like, I'm packing my bags. Satya's like, well, stay here, but Phil, stay here, don't leave. Keep losing it. I can't do it. Oh, man. That's all I heard when I get these deals, man. Oh, man. At game night with the $5, he goes, why do you think the rumor that Xbox funded and signed an exclusive deal with former Rocksteady devs? Oh, I didn't know that. They did? Dude, I don't... What game night, is that from somebody that says what I'm hearing is, what I'm doing is... Oh, hit that like button, grinders. This is the shit that I think of. I think it's like I keep losing that deal. I'm gonna think of anymore. I'm packing my bags. I didn't even know about that. You know, Xbox funded it. Listen,
The rumor mill, what I'm hearing is, what I heard was, what I said was, what I'm hearing is, who said was, you know what? Them and their friggin' rumors. Let's see the games. Let the games do the talking. That's what I have to say. Enough. Let the games do the talking. They get signed deals. Phil signing asses at FanFest. Man, he got those tramp stamps ready to print out, man. They got the booty stamps ready to go. He never learns. Always taking it. What time? Dude, I didn't know think of that. All right. In the workings of the Microsoft meeting.
I promise you one thing, okay? If you do not have at least one food that you like, I will buy you a piece of junk. Is that a deal?
No, I keep losing at deals, and I don't want to make a deal anymore. I am leaving, and you can't stop me. I'm packing my bags. And a very calm day until this. A bump in the road comes, and she's be sarcastic.
Phil's moving out.
Curtis.
I won't be coming back until Saturday when you leave.
Satya, you pissed off Phil, man.
She's gonna try to stop me, but she can't run in those little high heels.
Oh, man, he said Satya can't catch him with his high heels. Phil says I'm out of here. Oh, shit. Oh, but Jim Grumbly talks out his ass. Back in his bags. You can't catch me, Satya. But anyway, grinders. Yo. Shout out to everybody coming on. I want to say signing asses. There he is. Sign my ass. There he is. We got our own exclusive sign my ass in the chat. Thank you, man. Best name ever. Did someone say my name? Get ready, sign my ass. You better lay low during FanFest. Get ready. Phil's gonna be out there licking those lips. He's gonna get ready to go. But JC says he's dying. You can't catch me, Satya. I'm packing my bags. I'm losing at deals. Well, this is another deal, man. This is a gamble. We can guarantee it. Like, people are going to pretend this is a W. Hey, it's a W. Hey, Call of Duty, if you don't buy it, look, you're getting in Game Pass, W. Big W. But guess what? We can't deny that this is another Phil Ness gamble. This is a roll the dice moment. And I told you, they need to do this because I think the fallout of not putting Call of Duty, the new one, in Game Pass would have ended everything. So I think the trust in Game Pass, whatever trust was left, even it was like 5 people, done. When they gave their goodwill, hey, we spent $80 billion, we're putting Call of Duty in Game Pass. There it is. We'll see what happens. We'll see what kind of Call of Duty it is. We'll see what it is. But again, I think the way they rolled it out, not very effective. But we'll see. And again, as we know, Microsoft takes a step forward and falls and tumbles back down the whole flight of stairs. All right? We know that that's how Microsoft works. All right? They go, look, we're putting Call of Duty in Game Pass. And then we're going to find out they increased the price. Zombies coming later in the year. The maps are going to be 2 at launch. There we go. Oh, now it makes sense. Come on. Grinders, come on. We have over 300 people in here. Over 3,000 subscribers, almost at 3,000. We have 200 members. We got VIPs out the wazoo chilling. We got Ultimate Grinders listening to music and jams all the time. We have a whole community here of the Grindhouse. Tell me that that's not what they do. They take a step forward going Call of Duty and Game Pass and everybody's cheering in the streets. And then we hear the real news. Oh, yeah, 5 maps at launch, the lowest Call of Duty maps ever. We're going to add more over time. Zombies coming later. It's starting in January, not ready for launch. The campaign is going to be there, but we'll stop. Please, get ready. We just saw how they scoped the shit out of Hellblade 2. They scoped the shit out of it. They scoped Master Chief. He was giving his own colonoscopies. They scoped his ass so hard. They scoped the shit out of everything. Please. There are caveats to this. They always have them. We've known this. We've been following them for half a decade. They do this shit all the time. All right? So wait till we hear the entire story of what Call of Duty in Game Pass is. If it's a full game day one, thank you. You keep your W. You can play it in Game Pass. I'm probably going to buy it.
But if it's like that horse shit last year and they're just going to do more of that, then that's a L. And if it's all these compromises, we're going to start with 5 maps at launch. Whoa, wait. But these are built from the ground up. The maps and the built 5. The more will come later. We're going to do 1 a month for the next year. Subscribe to Game Pass, by the way. Oh, shit. What do you mean? The lowest Call of Duty launch count of maps ever? Oh, shit. Yeah. Get ready. We need to see the full story. That's why I would have had a little bit better if this is a clear W or start of one. If we saw the full game, the full presentation, the direct, everything, and then at the end they said coming to Game Pass. Then you would understand the scope of this thing. But since they're just talking about the Game Pass now, get ready, because they just got the good news out of the way. Here comes the real news from the Call of Duty. Oh man, we ain't on those shoulder pads. Hit that like button, grinders.
New news just dropped tonight. Xbox Game Pass feels longer, so right.
Thank you again, grinders. We out. It's on Game Pass. Roll the credits.
Got my crew trap stamps inside. Boot up Xbox, ready for the fight. Call of Duty, here to play. Every night and every day. 8 billion made it this way. We don't care what people say. Snipers hiding in the dark. Multiplayer, we hit the mark. What's the cost of gaming art? 80 billion, that's just the start. Call of Duty on display. Running through, now step our way. Headshots flying, that's our prey. In the game we always slay. Oh, and second ops too.
And the classic.
Games are coming fast. 12 minutes and 80.
Join the gaming grind down.
Upgrade
to Ultimate Grinders to get all the day one and the archives all at your fingertips. Thank you again, grinders. Enjoy the classic grind Game Pass song.